regime is the Straits of Hormuz. We have to shut off their cash flow.
SA's housing crisis has reached a new low, with the cost of renting a unit in Adelaide jumping 10% in just 12 months. According to a new Domain rental report, the increase is the largest in the nation and takes the average Adelaide unit rent to $550 per week. A family renting the average unit will now be paying around $2,500 more in rent per year than they were 12 months ago. The federal government is selling its plan to reduce the cost of the NDIS as part of next month's budget. Labor has promised to take 160,000 people off the scheme by applying stricter eligibility requirements. The Coalition, Greens and disability groups have all raised separate concerns about the lack of detail in the proposal. And legal experts say current court cases against Woolies and Coles over alleged fake discounts could change the future of shopping in Australia. University of Melbourne professor Janine Marie Patterson says if the ACCC wins their case, then every business in Australia will have to rethink its marketing.
They either go to Coles or they go to Woolworths. There are some other supermarkets around, but a lot of us are sort of limited. So in a way, consumers don't have a lot of choice here. They don't have a lot of ability to respond to the litigation other than to go, well, I'm not going to pay much attention to the sale tickets anymore.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Good morning, Tom Venning.
And a very good morning to you as well, Kate. It is selection night for the Crows and Port Adelaide ahead of their round 7 matches this weekend. Adelaide is a good chance to bring back Jake Saligo for the match against Brisbane, while the Power have to decide who they'll play on Jeremy Cameron. Toby Green, meantime, will become the Giants' all-time games record holder when he runs out against North Melbourne on Sunday. The skipper overtaking club great Callan Ward on 268 games. Green says whilst it's an honour, it's not a record he expects to hold for a long time.
It's nice, but I think there'll be a few boys go past that in the next few years, and hopefully a few coming through now that'll go past it.
And the round kicks off tonight with the Western Bulldogs hosting Sydney at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs will be without Tom Liberatore, Rory Lobb and Sam Darcy, but the Swans have also copped a blow. They'll be missing Isaac Heaney. Well, Manchester City's within touching distance of moving to the top of the English Premier League table. They're currently leading Burnley 1-0 in their clash with about 20 minutes to play. Erling Haaland with the only goal of the game so far inside the opening 5 minutes.
Here goes Haaland. Alarm bells ringing here for Burnley. It's Erling Haaland. It's beautiful. Manchester City in front. Coolness personified from Erling Haaland.
It was a gorgeous finish, that one. Audio thanks to Stan Sport. There's another game on this morning as well between Bournemouth and Leeds. That match is currently locked at 1-1. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks so much, Tommy. Now to the 5AA forecast. Sunny and warm today. We're heading for a top of 29 degrees. 27 and mostly sunny tomorrow. 29 with a possible shower developing on Saturday, dropping slightly to 24 on Sunday. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Get on the Great Open Road with Explorer Caravan's autumn stock clearance sale. And with leading Aussie brands including Franklin, Viscount and Titanium, you'll get a great deal. And with vans available now, it's the perfect time to head off the beaten track. Plus, receive a $3,000 fuel card with your purchase. Hurry into Explorer Caravans, corner of Grand Junction and Prospect Roads. Travel around Australia on us with a $3,000 fuel card. But be quick, sale ends April 30. T's and C's apply.
You know how some ingredients just quietly make everything better? For lots of South Australian cooks, that's Week's Barossa Valley egg noodles. They've been making them in the Barossa for more than 90 years, using quality Barossa eggs and simple ingredients the way they always have.
I love these noodles. I bought them a few times direct at the Anguston market. I've met the people who make them, and they are absolutely delightful. You know, if you're making a classic chicken noodle soup, you get those tiny little vermicelli noodles. Oh, they've just mentioned it at the ad. I should go back to the script. The beauty of having a box or two in the pantry is how easy dinner becomes. A rich ragu, a quick stir-fry, chicken noodle soup, even chili garlic prawns if you're feeling a bit adventurous.
Yeah, they're the kind of noodles that turn whatever's in the fridge into a proper meal. Chicken, beef, prawns, leftover veggies, whatever. You just add Week's Barossa Valley egg noodles and suddenly dinner comes together.
You'll know the brand. It's spelt Wieche. The range is fantastic too. Fine ribbon, string noodles, chilli, black pepper and more. There's a style for just about anything you feel like cooking.
Look for Week's Barossa Valley egg noodles in the pasta section of your supermarket. 90 years in the making. devoured in minutes.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
All right, if you've been thinking about upgrading your laptop, now's actually a very smart time to do it. Harvey Norman has up to 25% off selected big brand laptops, and there are some genuinely strong deals in there. For example, the Acer Aspire Go with an Intel Core 5 processor is down to $628. That's a $270 saving. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 Copilot Plus is $998, saving you $400. And the HP OmniBook X Flip 14, a really versatile 2-in-1, now $1,498, save $400. So whether it's work, study, or just something faster and more reliable, it's worth a look. Best range, best brands, best prices, up to 25% off selected laptops at Harvey Norman now. Conditions apply.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Stop buying those 2-in-1 spray-on products from the hardware shop. Real lawn enthusiasts treat their lawn with a multi-step program, not whatever's on the shelf. Lawn Hub's Amateur Pack is pro-grade lawn care in home-friendly sizes. 5 products with an easy-to-follow application calendar, specifically designed to push your lawn through autumn, survive winter, and come into spring looking amazing. Take your lawn from zero to hero with 1 pack delivered to your door. Plus, order this month and you're in the draw to win a $3,000 BP fuel voucher. Lawnhub.com.au. I grow mine with Lawn Hub.
Come and join the team on 5AA.
Pack the bag, we're going.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
10 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Thursday on 5AA Breakfast, the 23rd of April. Coming up on the program today, Ryan Fitzgerald. It's a footy day, Thursday morning. Get your tips ready. Ryan Fitzgerald will get us across all that's happening in the world of footy. Big developments with regard to the future of the NDIS. Yesterday, the Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler, spoke at the Press Club and detailed a sweeping series of reforms that will save billions over the course of the next 5 years, will remove some 160,000 people from the NDIS. Mark Butler is going to be on the program this morning. You're not going to want to miss that just before 7:30. Then after 7:30, Matt Abraham with his Spin of the Week. Always can't miss radio. And in and around all that, in fact, I'll tell you, somewhere around in that 7 o'clock hour, we're going to be playing our King of the Pride quiz, where you need to be the first to answer two questions correctly. That makes you King of the Pride and puts you in prime position to win what is a fantastic prize: flights, accommodation, tickets to see the Lion King in Sydney. You get to see the Archibald exhibition. You get to have a light tea at the tea room in the Queen Victoria building, a harbour cruise valued at some $3,000. Thanks to the great people at Spark Travel. We're going to be playing King of the Pride a little bit later in the morning. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners. A jam-packed program. No, I can't believe how good that prize is. It's a really, really good. You know, it's not just the. Often you get the tickets and you get the flights, but to get all the other stuff on top of it, that's like a proper, Sydney weekender type setup, isn't it?
It's 3 days of just great stuff. It's a fantastic prize.
During our last July holidays, overlapped with State of Origin Match 3, where everyone thought New South Wales was going to win, and they got absolutely caned by Queensland. But my oldest son, he's become a real league nut, so we flew over to Sydney for Origin 3. I got 2 cheap tickets through a mate. I was extremely lucky. He had some connections at Fox Sports, and they came to the party and got us a couple of nosebleeds, but we didn't care. It was good. Caught the train out. But anyway, we had a total disaster with the flights home. So we had suddenly our flight got cancelled. So we had just 1 day in Sydney to kill. And I said, Jim, what we should do is let's just act like tourists. Like, why don't we do a Sydney harbour cruise? And that sounds like, oh, la-di-da. You go down to Circular Quay.
Yeah, you jump on a little...
You jump on one. It's like catching a bus.
Yeah.
So we went out for about an hour and a half. It was just excellent. And, the funny thing was, despite living in Sydney for 12 years, I'd never done it before.
I bet it's the kind of thing lots of Sydney-siders haven't done.
Yeah.
It is...
Well, you act like because you're living in a place, you don't really act like a tourist there.
Sydney Harbour is the kind of thing that I think as Australians we kind of reflexively know that people consider a great site with the Opera House and the bridge. People kind of get it, but I don't know. I still think somehow we acknowledge it but don't appreciate it, because you go there and it is one of the most spectacular sights you can see in any city on planet Earth.
I think it is absolutely mind-blowing.
You almost need to travel to lots of other places first, I think, before you appreciate how unique and beautiful it is.
Well, I've been to 2 other places that are regarded as having, like, incredible harbours. One's San Francisco and one's Rio. And I reckon Sydney beats them both.
Yeah. It's just, we were there similar time to you last year.
Certainly safer than both of them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's no slight on Rio either.
Look at it. We've got some nice weather in Adelaide at the moment, which begs the question, David, what can you do in Adelaide to act like a tourist here in Adelaide in South Australia? We've got some tickets to give away this morning as well. And maybe one of the things you want to do is go see a game of footy. Well, we've got double passes to go see Port take on the Cats Saturday night at Adelaide Oval. What's a way you can behave like a tourist in your own city here in Adelaide? 8223 0000 or text us on 0448 08 1395. Do we want to tell the story now or later about how we stuffed up the company's HR presentation yesterday?
I didn't think we stuffed it up. We just injected it with an awkward real-life example.
I think our listeners will appreciate this. So, as part, and anyone who's done these before, this is the yearly. The company will make sure people across the expectations of conduct in the workplace, which goes to the kind of things you can and can't say, the ways you can and can't behave. It, everything from the Christmas party to a get together on the weekend and so forth. You close your eyes, you either been in it or you know what it is.
Just as a hypothetical, it'd be something like me looking at Will like for a little bit longer than I really should, and saying, "So, got any plans after the show?"
I think you did say that. We went to the Sleaford Mods.
Well, that's not harassment. That's just working class angry hip hop.
That's true.
From the Northern England.
Well,
there's a difference.
In one of the parts, there's the interactive component of the seminar where you're handed these documents that are examples that you have to work through. Do they constitute workplace harassment or not? And they're always, Jenny and Peter are sitting in the corner and so forth. The one we received in our little group, and Patrick was there and Emily was there as well, was about a conversation that was going on between people in the workplace about a fireman's calendar and whether it was appropriate.
A group of women, and they were rating the men.
Yeah, they were rating the men in the fireman's calendar, which for us raised alarm bells because we have a fireman's calendar in our little area out there, except ours has been customised because a number of the firemen have my face cut out and put over the top, my face on their bodies. Which
I made it myself with a glue stick.
And presented it on air, live.
Right. Without getting your permission.
For the ridicule of hundreds of thousands of people, which to our limited understanding probably constituted a series of breaches.
Yeah.
The HR people were not prepared for our real-world example.
That's right. It's funny, but you should mention that actually happened here on live radio.
Hypothetically, what if it was this scenario except with a colleague's face stuck on the fireman? Yes. So I don't know if we're going to be invited back.
The upshot of it, though, Will, is that you can keep your options open. If ever we have a sort of Kyle and Jackie O type meltdown, you can go,
that's what
I've always got the old fireman's calendar in my back pocket. In my defence, I'd say, there's a long history of you and I taking the you-know-what out of each other. It's all part of the fun. And C, most importantly, it was all done to raise money for Catherine House and Nut Street Centre.
Exactly right. 17 minutes after 6. Beautiful weather in Adelaide at the moment. What do you like to do in Adelaide, or how can you be a tourist in your own city? What would you like to go and see or do? Or by the same token, in talking about something like a Sydney Harbour cruise that you lived there for so long and didn't actually do when you lived there, is there something that people come and do in Adelaide that you, as someone who's lived here, you haven't? Is it?
You know what I think the biggest difference between South Australians and non-South Australian visitors is? The idea of going to Glenelg.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I went to Glenelg to do anything other than go to the barbecue inn. I'm sure there's other things you can do down there. I just don't know what they are. But you hear all the footy players are together, oh, yeah, we're going to Glenelg. What do you do when you get there? You just buy an ice cream, walk around.
Just cruise around the beach,
I don't think I've ever swum at Glenelg either.
Yeah, I used to live at Glenelg when I was at school, because obviously I went to school in Nova Garden, so the Glenelg was the closest sort of social place to go to. But
we used to go to
not
Brighton.
since.
Brighton was closer for us, going down Sturt Road. But the other thing too, as a kid, Glenelg was, according to my mum, rough.
Oh,
because they had the sideshows. In all seriousness, I actually think for people of my mother's generation, bringing up kids in the early 70s, I think the Beaumont children would have changed how they felt about the idea of your kids even being there.
Without a doubt. How could it not?
Yeah. Yeah. But Glenelg, it's going to Glenelg and also going to Harndorf.
But going to Harndorf is a very tourist in your own town thing to do.
I can't remember the last time I went to Harndorf either.
I would occasionally, a couple of times, you go to Beerenberg.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, Beerenberg's great. All right, 19 after 6. We've got to take a quick break. We've got Port Geelong tickets to give away to Saturday night. Being a tourist in your own town, folks, where would you like to go? What would you like to go see? What's something as an Adelaidean or South Australian you think, crikey, how I haven't done that? We'd love to hear from you. 8223
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 2 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 2 bottles of LPG for $79 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by April 30. Only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C's apply.
Not every conversation stays with you. This one will. Join Stephen Bartlett as he asks the questions and nothing is left unsaid. Search The Diary of a CEO wherever you get your podcasts.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
Your lawn is about to face its toughest months of the year. Are you prepared? Lawn Hub's Amateur Pack has everything you need to get your lawn through winter and out the other side looking lush and green. But you need to start now. Pre-emergent weed control, cold weather fertiliser, wetting agent and more, all in home-friendly sizes with a step-by-step application calendar. Plus, order this month and you're in the draw to win a $3,000 BP fuel voucher. Lawnhub.com.au. I grow mine with Lawn Hub.
Chloe and I separated about a year ago. At first we were getting on fine, sharing the parenting. Then one day it all just changed. Said I wouldn't be getting the kids again. I mean, what do you do then?
Life changes. So if you need help with a family situation, you need Webster's Lawyers, the experts in family law. They also offer a free no-obligation consultation. So call Webster's. websterslawyers.com.au.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttyres.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
The first few years of a child's development play a vital role in their future learning and in life. And that's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026.
That's right. The earlier children start learning, the sooner their developmental needs can be identified and supported. The teacher-led play-based program is designed to help every child build confidence, curiosity and the skills they need to thrive in learning and in life.
This initiative will lift the quality of early childhood education across the state through investment in high-qualified staff, professional development and extra supports for families and children through a preschool boost program supporting stronger outcomes for children.
You can learn more at the new website, flyingstart.sa.gov.au. It is a message from the Government of South Australia.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia. With a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today. Or call 1300 66 8810. Red Spot.
FIVEAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FIVEAA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FIVEAA Breakfast.
23 minutes after 6. We've got tickets to go to see Port take on the Cats Saturday night. Should be a cracking game of footy this weekend. Yeah, I think it will be. Asking you about South Australian places you haven't been, how you could be a tourist in your own town. Chris in Christie's Beach is on the line. Morning, Chris.
How are you guys?
Good, thanks, Chris.
Hey, I've travelled a fair bit and we've tossed up different ideas, but I have embarrassingly, even over the age of 50, have never been to Kangaroo Island.
Oh, one of my favourite places on planet Earth.
Chris, that puts you in the majority of South Australians.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's the promotion of the place or but every time we toss up ideas to have a weekend away, it's never Kangaroo Island. And then I hear these tourists come over and they go there and I think, Christ, am I missing something?
Mate, you're at Christie's. You can be at the ferry in 45 minutes. Like you got to do it. You got to do it at least once, mate, and spend a good 3 nights there at least because there's so much to see.
Yeah, no, it's got to happen. When you guys brought up the topic before, it's always stuck in my head. I've got to go to Kangaroo Island.
It's such a cool place. My favourite daydreaming activity, one of my favourite daydreaming activities is realestate.com Kangaroo Island. And I sit there and go, oh, yeah, I could see that.
Have you got a suburb area you look at?
No, most of it.
Yeah.
Something remote with water around it.
A lot of good little streets in Island Beach. They set you back a bit now, though.
Oh, that's the thing. It's all a daydream. It's all spectacularly expensive these days.
I got a mate who's got a house in Penishore that he built years ago, and it's just the most. It's set back in this. It's on the edge of the conservation park that's got all the she oaks in it, where those the glossy black cockatoos are.
It's just a spectacular.
Maybe she get Groiner
place
on about the cockatoos again.
Well, why not? Now that we know she doesn't actually swear,
she just says a word that sounds like another word.
Dr. Gronya Cleary, he now has the honour of being in such in 5AA Breakfast Folklore. We can ask almost any question. Who should fix the Electoral Commission? Who should be the next Australian of the Year? Who should be running for Prime Minister? Someone will text in Dr. Gronya Cleary. It's fantastic. Peter in Hillbank, talk us through the South Australian tourist experience that you'd like.
Yeah, good morning, Dave and Will. I just had the weekend in Victor Harbour and with my family, and our main reason for going to Victor Harbour was we actually went on the cockle train.
Oh, really?
So it was a steam train from 1910, and we jumped on at Goolwa and took the half an hour steam ride to Victor Harbour. We got on around 10 o'clock in the morning, and we got the 3:45 p.m. trip back from Victor Harbour back to Goolwa again. And we honestly felt like celebrities on that train, because just everybody stops in their cars, at the cafes, at the beach, and everyone is just waving to you. They just everyone's got their phones out, everyone's recording, everyone is really loving it. And yeah, we really enjoyed it. And my kids, 7 and 10, I don't know if they enjoyed it more or I enjoyed it more, but just having the steam train and the choo-choo and all that going on, it was amazing.
That sounds great, Peter.
Yeah, good account of a good tourist activity to do.
Going to Victor as well, do you reckon that's a tourist thing?
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah.
Yes, because people are either retired in Victor and based there. I'm thinking of people who grew up in South Australia.
Yeah.
Or there's probably other places along the Footy that they've got affection for. Yeah, Victor feels like a touristy sort of thing to do.
Yeah.
13.2 degrees outside at the moment, heading for a top today of 29. Hence the discussion about things to get out and do in South Australia. Tomorrow, 27, mostly sunny. Possible shower developing on Saturday, 29 again. Drops away to 24 on Sunday, drops away. 26 on Monday, 27 on Tuesday, 26 on Wednesday. So it is late April and we have one day on the forecast, 24 degrees or below. maximum temperature-wise. It's just absolutely remarkable. Tom Renton, the 5AA Breakfast Studio. Lots of sport to talk about. Agostino Mitsubishi overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Morning, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Look, a lot of English Premier League fans waking up this time in the morning. I'm fascinated by this. Arsenal, it's been more than 20 years they haven't won the English Premier League. They're finally going to break this drought, dominating the league, and they have just fallen in a hole. Like, totally. And Manchester City this morning has literally, in the last 60 seconds, just won 1-0 against Burnley. So now, first time since, I reckon, the start of the season, Man City's on top. And it's only on goal difference, but my goodness, the psyche of sport and what it can do to the brain.
How many games left?
5 left. And Man City beat Arsenal on the weekend. They don't play each other again. So City, that was a huge win on the weekend.
Yeah.
2-1. And City now have got, you would say on paper, the easier draw. I think they win it. It's shattering for Arsenal fans. Like, I've got a few of them, and they are just livid.
Arsenal are the ultimate sort of
perennial
like
chokers.
for the Crows in the early 2000s.
Just can't get it done.
Yeah.
Cannot get
Always
it done.
fell at the final hurdle.
There's something almost merciful about final systems where if it's agony and it's disappointment, it's probably over in 2.5 hours.
Yes.
You see it go.
Yeah.
When it's a season where it's who finishes on top of the table, you can see it coming for weeks or months,
I
maybe.
know.
When you think, oh, God, we're falling. Oh, no, it's happened again. Nah.
Yeah.
And then there's now the moment and there's going to be another moment where they pull ahead or another moment where they've officially not won it. Like, it is just...
It's hard.
As
to
Paul
achieve.
Keating said, doing you slowly.
Is it fairer, though?
I think their system's better. They play everyone home and away. That's the way it should be. You get one game, so you play every side twice, once at home, once away. Totally fair
less
system.
variability with a system of just who's on top at the end of a year as opposed to playing single elimination games.
It's almost like the debate when they got rid of matric being out of 500 and pulled back on the importance of exams. Like, what do you value more, doing exams or being assessed on an ongoing basis?
It's a great point. I think when I went through it was 50-50. When you're only a few years old, it was probably more towards
exams. 80-20, I think.
And I don't mind that because life is pressure. Like, you got to perform when it counts. I like that
And if
system.
you're someone who can buggerise around for a lot of the year and then pluck it out of you-know-what at the end, exams are terrific.
What are you saying there, Dave? Hey, but while we're talking the World Game, just quickly, you talk about, the Premier League, but Leicester, my goodness. Now, perhaps it was more 10 years ago. That was the outlier. Remember, they won 5,000-1 at the start of the season. They won the whole thing.
They won the league,
Claudio Ranieri had Andreas Bocelli perform. Time to say goodbye at the end of the season. 10 years later, not only have they been relegated to the Championship, so the second division, yesterday they just got relegated to League One, the third division.
Gee, if you read about their financials too, they're going to struggle to exist as a club.
Yeah,
but they're in some frightening times.
It's sports. It's a fine line, isn't it? So that's where it's all at the moment. But footy starts tonight. I think the Doggies will struggle with all their injuries against Sydney. We'll see how it goes.
Good on you, Rennie.
Good on you, boys.
Tom.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny today, a top of 29 degrees. With the 6:30 news, good morning. I'm Kate Collins.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
The ceasefire extension in the Middle East is holding despite reports Iran has seized a number of freighters. Reid Butler has more.
The ceasefire in place now for close to 24 hours, the extension at least, but not in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has attacked 3 vessels and has seized 2 of those vessels. The United States has targeted Iranian-linked vessels in recent days as well. As for a response, we have seen at least one senior Iranian politician saying that people are complaining in Iran about this ceasefire extension and Iran didn't even want it. This was the response to those claims from the White House a short time ago.
I would caution you to take anything that they say at face value. What we've seen is that what they say publicly is much different than what they concede to the United States and our negotiating team privately.
The Prime Minister will update the states and territories on the latest fuel issues as part of a national cabinet meeting. Anthony Albanese is keen to make sure every jurisdiction is on the same page in the event restrictions have to be imposed. Another 200 million litres of diesel has been secured from overseas, while more fertiliser is on its way from Indonesia. While the Albanese government has spoken with energy companies about building a new refinery to shore up Australia's fuel supplies. The federal government is defending its plan to rein in the ballooning cost of the NDIS. The move will mean 160,000 people will be kicked off the disability scheme over the coming years. The Greens, Coalition and disability groups have all launched separate critiques of the proposal. Autism Association Chief Executive Nicole Rogerson says her members will inevitably be affected.
It's impossible to say that people with autism won't be impacted here because they are just the biggest percentage of new entrants coming into the scheme, and the Minister was really clear today that they're going to reduce numbers of people coming into the scheme. So will they be autistic children? Yes, they probably will be.
Independent testing has revealed the driving range of many electric cars has failed to meet manufacturer claims. Chris McCarthy has more.
The Australian Automobile Association's real-world testing program found all of the 15 EVs it examined couldn't drive as far as advertised. The worst offender, the MG4, managing 124 kilometres less than its 405-kilometre claim. The best performers, the new Tesla Model Y and Kia EV5, were 3% off the mark. The government-funded program has tested hundreds of petrol, diesel and hybrid cars over the past 3 years, finding more than 3/4 of vehicles were less efficient than the sticker on the windscreen said.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Clay. Plenty of football around, and it is teams night for the Crows and Port Adelaide ahead of their massive matches this weekend. Port Adelaide takes on Geelong on Saturday. They'll name a team to take on the Cats. They've lost their last 3 encounters against Geelong, while the Crows will only name a squad with their match not being played until Sunday against the Lions. They'll cut that squad of 26 back to 23 tomorrow. It's expected Jake Saligo will come back into the side after missing last weekend with an ankle injury. And the round will kick off tonight with the Western Bulldogs taking on Sydney at Marvel Stadium. Marcus Bontempelli has been named, but there is still some doubt as to whether or not he will play. You can, of course, hear that match live here on 5AA. Let's go to soccer. 2 completed games in the English Premier League this morning, and Manchester City is now on top of the table following a hard-fought 1-0 away win at Burnley. The result also confirms Burnley will be relegated this season, and there was one other game on, and Leeds left it until the 96th minute to find an equaliser against Bournemouth.
Scott wins that one. Oh, it's driven in brilliantly by Longstaff. What a volley! The long throw does the trick again. And Bournemouth have pegged back again. It's 2-2.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. The match finishing at 2-2. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tommy. Now to the 5AA forecast. Sunny and warm today. We're heading for a top of 29 degrees in Adelaide, 27 and mostly sunny for tomorrow, 29 with a possible shower developing on Saturday, dropping slightly to 24 degrees for Sunday. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot. You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot. Much on this weekend? How about a quick trip to Amsterdam? Dig into cones of Belgian fries topped with mayo, mini Dutch pancakes and indulgent Biscoff milkshakes. Stock up on authentic Dutch products, market-fresh produce and irresistible Dutch cakes made from scratch daily. Take a leisurely stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips and the Delft Blue. Visit Amsterdam this weekend at the Dutch Pantry. OG Road Clemzig, open 7 days. Just look for the big windmill.
Cup of tea, dear? The kettle's on. Would you like a cup of tea, love? Cup of tea, dear? What?
If you're concerned about hearing loss for a loved one, book an appointment with Can Do Hearing. candohearing.com.au. That sounds better.
Bathroom Renovators Warehouse.
Looking for a stunning new bathroom?
Want the high-end look without spending a fortune? BRW can design and renovate your bathroom from start to finish at a budget that suits you. Visit our showroom today and see our beautiful new bathrooms on display. BRW, beautiful bathrooms at warehouse prices. 16 Research Road, Paraka.
We are BRW Bathroom Renovators Warehouse.
Hello, this is Curbstone Motors. Yes, I know Preface is on at Hyundai. No, I didn't know approved business applicants can get 2.99% per annum finance on in-stock new and demonstrator Staria loads. But we have balloons.
Enjoy great deals without the gimmicks at Hyundai Preface. On now at participating Hyundai dealers. Ends June 30. Minimum $6,000 deposit. Maximum term 48 months. T's and C's, fees, charges and lending criteria apply. Hyundai Capital Australia Proprietary Limited. Australian Credit Licence 554051.
Stop buying those 2-in-1 spray-on products from the hardware shop. Real lawn enthusiasts treat their lawn with a multi-step program, not whatever's on the shelf. Lawn Hub's Amateur Pack is pro-grade lawn care in home-friendly sizes. 5 products with an easy-to-follow application calendar, specifically designed to push your lawn through autumn, survive winter, and come into spring looking amazing. Take your lawn from zero to hero with 1 pack delivered to your door. Plus, order this month and you're in the draw to win a $3,000 BP fuel voucher. Lawnhub.com.au. I grow mine with Lawn Hub.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into 1 and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
21-7. We spoke with Tom Venning just before the break about the devastation of being an Arsenal fan at the moment. Mark in Barra Hills is precisely that. Mark, good morning. Oh, this must be an awful feeling.
Good morning, guys. How are you? How am I feeling? Oh, devastated. All year, been on top, but I still had this gut feeling that they're not going to do it. A bit like supporting the Crows, really. I was going to go out and buy a Gunners beanie this week, but I've shelved that idea. I just don't like the Manchester teams, and I don't know. I don't think we've got a striker, a number 9 up front that's good enough to score regular goals. I don't know. Just gutted.
Yeah.
Gutted.
No, understood, Mark.
Our heart goes out to
you know what, Mark? Still 70 points apiece. 5 games remaining. Anything could happen. Chance for Man City to get the wobbles. But
true.
Sport, you can hear it in Mark's voice. It can be cruel, can't it? Leading all year. Let's talk with Chris, who's in Surrey Downs, about touristy things to do in South Australia. Morning to you, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, boys. On the end of it, you read about going down to Victor Harbour. What they had years ago, you could go up to North Terrace, get on a train there, and go right from there down to Victor Harbour. You stop at Mount Barker, get something to eat and drink, and continue on. And the sights all the way down there is really peaceful, and it's good.
Yeah, that's a good one, Chris. That's an area that a lot of us overlook. There's a good text before. Thanks for your call, Chris. Someone said, Mandy, the Flinders Ranges is heaven. Keep driving north, the Arkaroola Ridgetop Tour, best day of my life. I had never taken the kids to Wilpena Pound or anything like that. I went there on a school camp.
Yeah, I went to Wilpena Pound on a school camp.
Have you ever been back?
No.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
But people rave about the Flinders Ranges.
It was funny, we did a discussion. We spoke with the people who ran, I can't think of the name of that wonderful little accommodation now that was cut off because of rain and the road had been.
Oh, yeah.
And as we were talking, I looked it up, and it is, and this is a terrible story because I can't remember the name of the darn place, but it was absolutely spectacular. This station you could stay at effectively. And days after we talked about it on air, I spoke with someone who actually just stayed there recently and said it's one of the best places they've ever been to. Anyway, great ad for them. Let's talk about treasure boxes. I know.
I think of staying somewhere. This place, whose name we can't remember, is excellent.
Indeed. It was pretty much as good as that. I do know the name of Treasure Boxes. They're a wonderful local charity. Their head of partnerships, Raj Vasan, joins us now on 5AA Breakfast because, Raj, there's a few things you guys are really on the lookout for at the moment. And good morning.
Good morning, David and Will, and thank you so much for having us. This is huge. Yes, right now at Treasure Boxes, we've completely run out of toothpaste, and that might sound small, but for the families we're supporting, it's really huge because when you're choosing between rent, food, or fuel, obviously basic hygiene is often the first to go. So we're urgently calling on the community to help us restock essentials like toothpaste, body wash, soap, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, and especially sanitary items for teens and adults.
So, Raj, just for the benefit of our listeners who aren't familiar with the work of treasure boxes, remind us again, it's basically for kids who need to, and young people who need to pack up and go in a real hurry when there's some sort of drama in their family, like domestic violence often, or it might be their family suddenly become homeless, which has been more of an issue, we know, statistically. So it's sort of like, is that an accurate description?
Yes, because the crisis for children and families can manifest in so many ways. So, like you said, absolutely domestic violence, fleeing abuse, being placed into foster care, generally with just the clothes on their back, generational poverty, newly arrived refugees and migrants. So it could be any type of trauma or crisis where they're literally lacking basic essentials. And that's pretty much what we do. So it's foundational for any kind of early intervention that comes later for children and families in crisis.
So if people want to make a donation, do you just need cash donation so that you can buy this stuff yourselves? Is that how you generally do it?
So financial is always great because it just gives us that flexibility, giving families what they need when it's needed rather than what we have when we have it. But there's so many ways that people can donate. So things like product donations, for example, toiletries, it's always needed because they are perishable, they're consumable, and generally they are the least donated items. So toiletries are always welcome as product donations, but they also don't even have to be new. We are more than happy to take gently used things like bed and bath linen. For example, we are really desperate now with winter setting in. Quilts, blankets, pillows, towels, bath mats, hand towels, face washes, these kind of bed and bath linen that will bring a bit of warmth and a sense of home to families in crisis. So all of these can be donated as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And people can just do a simple Google search, treasure boxes, giving goods to kids in need, and find out more information.
Treasureboxes.org.au, and the first page on the list gives you the list of items that we really need urgently at any given time.
That's great, Raj. Well, good luck with the campaign. We hope people get behind it. Raj Vasan, the head of partnerships for Treasure Boxes.
Almerta Station was the place I was struggling to think of. We spoke with Patrick Rowe a couple of weeks ago, and while we were doing it, looked it up. Looks absolutely spectacular in the Flinders Ranges. All right, let's head to the Weather Bureau. Ellie Matthews is on duty. Ellie, spring in April continues.
Yeah, look, we are continuing with pretty warm conditions throughout much of the forecast period and generally dry conditions, at least for today and tomorrow. So whilst out there overnight, we saw some of the minimum temperatures get down to between 11 to 14 degrees. Adelaide itself getting down to 12.6 degrees. The maximum temperatures today are heading up into the high 20s, if not low 30s. So we've got 29 degrees on the forecast for Adelaide. Glenelg top of 28 degrees. Elizabeth 30 degrees today. Noarlunga top of 28. Same for Mount Barker, and into tomorrow might be a touch cooler for locations, so maybe drop a degree off those maximums, but generally overnight minimums, we've got them sitting somewhere in the mid to high teens. And really this weather pattern does stick around at least for the next few days as that high pressure system lingers over the Tasman Sea, directing a northeasterly flow over the states. That's what's bringing these drier and sunny conditions, also bringing warm conditions. Now, it won't be until the weekend where we may see a little bit of a shift in the pattern. So during Saturday evening, we do see a weak cold front or trough approaching from the southwest. Now, that would reach Adelaide by the time we get to late evening Saturday and continue into Sunday morning. That may bring some shower activity across the region. Generally, we're looking at potentially a couple of millimetres with those. But in terms of temperatures, still continuing in the 20s for much of the weekend, and even by the time we get to next week, we do see the high pressure ridge regain its dominance over the state, and we'll shift back to those northeasterlies and look for the new week to be dry and warm once again.
Good stuff, Ellie. Thank you. Ellie Matthews from the Weather Bureau.
All right, let's head to SAPOL. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes is on the line. Rebecca, a man's been caught trespassing on North Terrace overnight.
Yes, police were called to a vacant building on North Terrace after an alarm was activated at 2 a.m. this morning. 2 men had scaled the outside of the building and were spotted on a ledge on the 5th floor by police. Police surrounded the building and called in police dog Arlo to help search. One of the suspects climbed down the building by an external ladder and he was then located by police in the basement. He's a 32-year-old Para Hills man. He's been arrested and charged with being unlawfully on premises. Police also found a car registered to him parked nearby, and that allegedly contained braking implements. So his vehicle was seized by police and towed away for forensic examination, and he was bailed to appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court in June. The second suspect was not cited after being on the roof, and police lost track of him, but we know who that is and we'll follow up with him at a later date.
You can't say which building it was, can you, Rebecca?
It's at the corner of Gawler Place and North Terrace. I think once he's actually climbed down into the building, he was pretty well trapped inside because, it is quite secure. But, they managed to get in by going up to the top floor, to the roof, and somehow getting in that way.
How intriguing. Also, yet again, a drink driver speeding as well. Speeding drink driver has been caught in Hallett Cove.
Yes, this was just before 8 o'clock last night. Police spotted a Toyota Ute on Lonsdale Road at Hallett Cove, speeding at 151 kilometres an hour in a 100k zone. The car was stopped and the driver recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.170, so over 3 times the legal limit there. And also of concern to police, there was a child who was a passenger in the car. So the 44-year-old Christie's Beach man, he's been reported for drink driving, aggravated speeding and driving under the influence with a child passenger. He's been issued a 12-month instant loss of licence, had his car impounded, and he'll face the Christie's Beach Magistrates Court at a later date.
Father of the Year, what a dropkick. Good on you, Rebecca. Thank you. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes. 151 drunk, a kid in the car.
It's just awful. It's actually, that's a tragedy for that kid. That's just awful.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it?
How many drink drivers have we had this week? It feels like we've had one every week, every day of the week.
Yeah, it does.
Serious ones as well.
We've had on a couple of occasions, we had 2. We had 2 in one day.
We did have 2 in one day. All right, let's check traffic. We're going to be back with more in just a moment.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. At Ranella, a breakdown just popped up then. Southern Expressway near Majors Road, but no great delays at this point in time. In the city, traffic lights playing up Frame Street near Flinders Street. Got a lane ripped up South Road, Edwardstown, just in front of Castle Plaza. That will be slow this morning. And here's one I haven't had before, a Carvey tractor. That's at Virginia, Old Port Wakefield Road near the Servo. Hope everyone is okay, including the John Deere. Cameras, Arthur Street, Tranmere and Barnes Road, Glen. For sleep and exercise recovery, find the new Healthy Care Magnesium Glycinate, 120 tablets at Chemist Warehouse. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
What starts with A and ends with E? Supplements for you and me.
Arbor Vitae Joint Health is now on sale at Chemist Warehouse for just $55.99 a bottle. You save over $16 a bottle at Chemist Warehouse.
Arbor Vitae.
At Coles, get half price across selected cosmetics on brands like Maybelline, L'Oreal, Rimmel and Revlon. Save in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday. Excludes everyday down and clearance items. Follow the directions for use.
Your lawn is about to face its toughest months of the year. Are you prepared? Lawn Hub's Amateur Pack has everything you need to get your lawn through winter and out the other side looking lush and green. But you need to start now. Pre-emergent weed control, cold weather fertiliser, wetting agent and more, all in home-friendly sizes with a step-by-step application calendar. Plus, order this month and you're in the draw to win a $3,000 BP fuel voucher. lawnhub.com.au. I grow mine with Lawn Hub.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe, thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
All right, if you've been thinking about upgrading your laptop, now's actually a very smart time to do it. Harvey Norman has up to 25% off selected big brand laptops, and there are some genuinely strong deals in there. For example, the Acer Aspire Go with an Intel Core 5 processor is down to $628. That's a $270 saving. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 Copilot Plus is $998, saving you $400. And the HP OmniBook X Flip 14, a really versatile 2-in-1, now $1,498, save $400. So whether it's work, study or just something faster and more reliable, it's worth a look. Best range, best brands, best prices, up to 25% off selected laptops at Harvey Norman now. Conditions apply.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
If you've been thinking about a new kitchen, but not sure where to start at Dream Doors Kitchens Adelaide. They do more than kitchen facelifts. They design and build complete kitchens and custom joinery tailored to your home and your budget. From wardrobes to laundries, vanities to full kitchen renovations, their in-house designers guide you every step of the way. Family owned and trusted across SA. Start with Dream Doors Kitchens Adelaide. Visit dreamdoorskitchens.com.au.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 minutes to 7. A curious little story in the Advertiser both yesterday and today regarding the plight of some 40 workers at G'day Group's operation here in South Australia. G'day, of course, run Discovery Parks and a lot of caravan parks and so forth. That raised an eyebrow at the fact that 40 workers were made redundant at the same time as the G'day Group introduced its new AI character that was going to be, something you could interact with. Their official bark manager, Bruce the Border Collie. Now, I don't think the correlation has yet been established that these people were fired because of the AI dog, but the story does underscore the sensitivity that now exists, I think, around the use of AI tools in workplaces and what it means as its potential for replacing people. And the reason why, G'day Group, setting that story aside, we've had WiseTech, we've had Atlassian, we've had the banks all refer to the use of artificial intelligence as reasons why we've seen large numbers of people laid off. And it goes to some people's worst fears about the adoption of artificial intelligence is that it's going to be a tool of replacement.
The questions need to be asked about this because I would characterise some of the less than transparent explanations from G'day Group about what this dog's up to as being sort of a study in corporate evasiveness. Because we're told that Bruce the Border Collie is being used for, quote, high-volume content creation. Now, A, what is high-volume content creation? And B, the word creation suggests something that historically has been created by humans. Does it not?
The curious explanation for the redundancies was because they're growing, which...
We're going so well we need to start sacking people.
In any case, it raises the spectre of AI and its impacts on the workforce, and that's precisely the area of interest of our next guest, Professor Toby Walsh, the Chief Scientist at the University of New South Wales' AI Institute. Professor Walsh, good morning to you.
Good morning. You're right. They've made a bit of a dog's breakfast of this announcement.
Yeah, well, I think they have, Professor Walsh, and some of it probably gets back to the sort of reluctance of companies to be completely upfront about what their intentions are. But in terms of AI, and Will mentioned Atlassian before, huge layoffs there. Do you think we're sort of on the cusp of seeing some major upheavals in those sort of white-collar industries?
Yeah, unfortunately, I fear that we are. I mean, you'd say that they're significant. We're hearing companies talking about laying off 10% of their staff. And it is the case that the AI tools now are sophisticated. They could do some of these customer-facing things. They don't have to do all of them, but if they could do 90% of customer-facing queries, then you only need 1 in 10 of the people that you were used to employ.
Are you convinced at this point in time that this technological revolution will be significantly greater, Professor Walsh, than those that have come before it? Obviously, people refer to the Industrial Revolution and the disenfranchisement of workers in those fields. I think out of the United States, they say in the 70s, about 20% of people worked in clerical or secretarial roles, and then the computer came along and those jobs largely disappeared. We've been through versions of this before. Is this one going to be magnitudes worse?
It's hard to know that it's going to be better or to be worse. It's certainly of a similar scale. But I think the thing that makes this perhaps more challenging, more difficult for us humans is that it seems to be happening much quicker. I mean, the Industrial Revolution took 50 years to happen. The Internet, which again was a revolution that changed how we work, that took a decade to happen. This one is happening this year and next.
Yeah. And the thing too, the example we'll just use, Professor Walsh, of the advent of the computer in the 70s and then the streamlined and portability, like, PCs that came in the 80s and 90s, they sort of gave workers new skills, and they also led to the creation of the IT department, whereas AI is like, it's like the IT department is just taking over the world.
Yes, I do think there are things that are still uniquely human that would be left to human. Our people skills, our social skills, our emotional intelligence, our creativity, you mentioned that, our adaptability. There's lots of things where humans still excel, but the challenge is that those are going to be new jobs, new things that humans are doing that perhaps they weren't doing before, and some of the things that, for example, customer service facing things, answering simple customer queries. This conversational AI that we've got today can do it very well, and I don't see many companies necessarily choosing to pay humans to do that when they can get computers to do it much cheaper, unfortunately.
Do you imagine there'll be a different sort of upheaval happening in the commercial sector as well, Professor Walsh? Because I imagine it's probably, say you're in you're in advertising or you're in sales or any sort of business that's susceptible to AI use. I'm guessing it's probably easier to start a company from scratch based around AI than it is to integrate it into a company that already employs 5,000 people, for example, and then compete with a startup that's been based entirely around AI. So there's the job-changing part of this, but is there also another part that we don't talk about, which is the way in which the commercial sector will face total upheaval?
Yeah, it's spot on. You're exactly right. I think that existing companies are actually going to be at a disadvantage trying to adapt all their old legacy stuff to the new technologies. Whereas if you're a new company, you might not initially hire a marketing person because you've got AI helping you do the marketing. Right? There's lots of things that it actually gives you a superpower. So one person can do things that previously required you to have half a dozen people.
Yeah, absolutely. Fascinating chat, Professor Walsh. Professor Toby Walsh, Chief Scientist at the University of New South Wales AI Institute.
One thing, Professor Walsh, the pace of change. It's amazing how quickly this story has become totally mainstream and normal.
If I was on a website and some yappy dog came up going, ruff, ruff, my name's Bruce, I'm here to help, I'd just go, how can I shut this down? I'm not talking to Poochie the rockin' dog or whatever he is. I just want to use the website the way it's always been. Thank you.
I wonder if for us that will be the equivalent of of older people with cash, and it'll say, "Well, you want that, do you? Well, guess what? No one's doing it anymore."
Here,
does it feel like
no
that?
Cash? Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Everything feels like that to me these days.
7 o'clock, 5AA news time. Big next half hour. Ryan Fitzgerald, our king of the Pride, and Mark Butler on massive changes to the NDIS.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Up-to-the-minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
29 and sunny in Adelaide today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Kate Collins.
State-of-the-art facilities, hands-on treatments and same-day appointments. 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
A man's been arrested after he was caught trespassing in a vacant property on the corner of North Terrace and Gawler Place at 2 a.m. 2 men scaled the outside of the building but set off an alarm and were spotted on the ledge on the 5th floor by police. One suspect climbed down the building by an external ladder and was found in the basement. The 32-year-old Para Hills man was arrested and charged with being unlawfully on premises, while police found a car registered to him parked nearby, allegedly containing braking implements. Police are looking for a second man. Figures from the RAA show more people died on SA roads per capita than any other state in the first 3 months of 2026. 32 lives were lost to the end of March. Tragically, another 5 people have died this month. The rise is driven by an increase in crashes involving both motorcyclists and young road users. South Australia's housing crisis has reached a new low, with the cost of renting a unit in Adelaide jumping 10% in just 12 months. The increase, revealed in today's quarterly Domain rental report, is the largest in the nation and takes the average Adelaide unit rent to $550 per week. Liberal Deputy Leader Josh Teague says the double-digit increase is another blow for South Australians already struggling through the cost of living crisis.
A 10% jump in just 12 months is unsustainable, and we We now see a family renting the average unit will now be paying $2,600 more in rent per year than they were a year ago. That's a crisis.
Iran's president says the US blockade of Iranian ports, along with threats and a breach of commitments, are the main obstacles to genuine negotiations. He's also accused the US of endless hypocritical rhetoric. Meanwhile, the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, says President Trump hasn't set a deadline of when the ceasefire extension will expire.
There's obviously a lot of internal division. This is a battle between the pragmatists and the hardliners in Iran right now, and the president wants a unified response. As we await that response, there's a ceasefire with the military and kinetic strikes, but Operation Economic Fury continues, and the effective and successful naval blockade continues as well.
The Prime Minister will convene a national cabinet meeting today to address the ongoing fuel crisis. Nelson Scott reports from Canberra.
Anthony Albanese will hold another round of virtual talks with his state and territory counterparts to discuss the disruptions caused by the Iran war. He'll give an update on fuel supplies, with an extra 200 million litres of diesel secured from South Korea, Malaysia and Brunei. Mr Albanese says he also wants to make sure there's a consistent approach across the country in the event of fuel shortages. There are 61 oil tankers en route to Australia, with 5 to arrive over coming days. The government has also secured more fertiliser stock.
Time is running out for South Australians to have their say on the future of the Murray-Darling Basin, with submissions to the 10-year Basin Plan review closing on Friday, 1st of May. The Murray-Darling Basin Authority has already received more than 600 submissions, reflecting strong interest as the public consultation period enters its final days. Executive Director Tim Good says it's a once-in-a-generation chance to shape the future of the basin, and he's encouraging anyone who hasn't already done so to make a submission.
No matter who you talk to, everyone wants to see healthy rivers. So that's why we have a basin plan. And the law that establishes the plan says that it must be reviewed every 10 years. So this is the first review, which makes it a really important milestone and a great opportunity.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Kate. Port Adelaide will name its side tonight to take on Geelong at Adelaide Oval. The Power have lost their last 3 matches against the Cats, including 2 at Adelaide Oval. Geelong assistant coach James Rayleigh telling Rowie and Timmy G they love playing in SA.
Definitely probably the way the ground is structured is pretty similar to GMHBA, and I think we just love playing there with the atmosphere and the ground. It's just I reckon Adelaide Oval and MCG are the best grounds that our boys love playing at, so the boys just love getting over there and excited to play Port this Saturday night.
The Crows will name only a squad, with their match not being played against Brisbane until Sunday. And tonight, the Bulldogs host Sydney at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs have been decimated by injury, with Tom Liberatore, Sam Darcy, Rory Lobb and James O'Donnell all injured. But the Swans have also lost Isaac Heaney to a calf issue. Well, Cricket Australia is set to plough on with the privatisation of the Big Bash despite pushback from New South Wales. Meantime, there was one match in the IPL overnight with the Rajasthan Royals 40-run winners against the Lucknow Supergiants. Mitch Marsh top scored for the Supergiants with 55, but it wasn't enough, with his side stuck back in 9th spot on the ladder. In the English Premier League, Manchester City is now top of the table following a hard-fought 1-0 away win against Burnley. Elsewhere, Bournemouth and Leeds drew 2-2. And the LA Lakers have a 2-0 lead over the Houston Rockets in their NBA playoff series after winning Game 2 101-94. The Portland Trail Blazers tied their series with the San Antonio Spurs at 1 game apiece, thanks to a 106-103 point victory. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Rennie. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there at Ranella, a breakdown. The Southern Expressway near Majors Road. We're not seeing too many delays, so that's a good thing. In the city, traffic lights playing up Frome Street near Flinders Street, and we are slow South Road at Edwards. Haggood Lane ripped up just in front of Castle Plaza. That will be even slower throughout the morning. Camera, Arthur Street Tranmere with another one this morning, 8th Avenue at St Peters. Congested roads, overflowing schools and hospitals, zero immigration. Australia needs a new deal. Newdeal.au. Authorised by Clive Palmer for the United Australia Party Gold Coast. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast. Sunny and warm today. We're heading for a top of 29 degrees. 27 and mostly sunny for tomorrow. 29 with a possible shower developing on Saturday and dropping slightly to 24 degrees on Sunday. Right now it's 15 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
For 20 years, Footy Milk Company has been in your fridge, in your smoothies, kids' cereal or morning coffee. Through the good years and the tough ones, dairy farming hasn't been easy. But because you choose to back a bunch of passionate SA dairy farmers and continue to do so, we're still here. That's 20 years local families providing local jobs for our great state. Look for Footy Milk Company products at your supermarket. And let's keep a good thing going.
The future of driving is here at Solitaire Volkswagen with the all-electric Volkswagen ID4 and ID5 available now for immediate delivery. Combining cutting-edge technology, effortless performance and sleek design, they're built for a smarter way to move. Experience the next generation of driving today. For April only, purchase a Volkswagen ID5 and receive a complimentary accessory package valued at $1,000. T's and C's apply. Drive electric today at Solitaire Volkswagen, Hawthorn or Prospect.
We love Louver House. You can use your outdoor area all year round if you go with the great people at Louver House. That's because they're the market leader in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof.
Yeah, great business, great technology too. A Louver House roof will let in the perfect combo of airflow and sunlight as you need it. Plus, you can use it night and day with other options like LED lighting. When the weather turns, automatic rain sensing technology keeps everything dry and protected.
You know, the really good thing too is that the great people, Rod and the team at Louver House, they're locals, they're South Aussies, they're based right here in South Australia. Do what Will and I did. Go and visit the showroom to see for yourself because everything is manufactured right here in SA from the highest quality stuff and then distributed across Australia by this great family-owned and operated business.
Call his team today to organise a free, no-obligation design, measure and quote. They'll even come to you. Bring your outdoor area to life with Louver House. Visit louverhouse.com.au.
6 minutes from now, a business in Australia will become a victim of cybercrime. If you're not protected, you're next. Sooner or later, it will be you. FXIT is a nationally trusted cybersecurity company for Australian businesses. Your peace of mind starts with a free cybersecurity audit. The clock's ticking. Don't be the easy win for cybercriminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect.
G'day, Alan Gray here. Speaking mechanic to mechanic, we all know four-wheel drive safety starts with how well a vehicle handles and stops. Too often we see four-wheel drive setting off on the big family getaway, overloaded and underprepared. It's time to get Terrain Tamer ready with the right stopping power. For safety's sake, Terrain Tamer have loads of upgraded braking solutions, including larger calipers, heavy-duty pads, dual brake boosters, rotors and braided brake lines. To find out more, go to terraintamer.com.
With Let's Get Care, get more control to design your day, get more choice to pick the support that suits you, and get $1,000 more value for your supported home package when you join today. Search Let's Get Care. Ends June 30. New customers only. T's and C's apply.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
11 after 7, good morning to you if you're joining us for the first time on what we're calling Spring in April. It is the 23rd today, and we've got another day where it's nearly going to hit 30 degrees in Adelaide. 29 degrees the expected top, as you've just heard, for Adelaide. Spectacular day. Wonderful weather pattern. We've had a terrific chat in the first hour of the program about being a tourist in your own town. You might like to contribute to that, the things you haven't yet seen that you'd love to. 8223 000. We've got a stack of tickets to give away to see the Cats and Port Adelaide on Saturday night at Adelaide Oval. That might be something you'd like to do. If you contribute to the program, you put yourself in the running to win those tickets, so we'll award them randomly over the course of the morning. Also coming up, Matt Abraham after 7:30, and just before him, on what is the biggest story in the country at the moment, Mark Butler, the Federal Health Minister, will join us live on 5AA Breakfast to talk about sweeping reforms to the NDIS announced yesterday. We'll get into that shortly, but first, it is time. One of the best prizes we've had to give away, thanks to the great people at Spark Travel who've put together great travel experiences, and they've put together a prize that sounds like the perfect Sydney weekend. So here's what you get. Return flights, 3 nights accommodation with breakfast included, tickets to the Lion King at the Capitol Theatre, tickets to the 2026 Archibald exhibition at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, a light tea at the Tea Room in the Queen Vic building, and a Captain Cook Premium Harbour Experience cruise, including a beverage and a charcuterie board to share. It's worth about $3,000. Spark Travel have put it all together.
Terrific package.
You need to be the king of the pride when the competition ends. And to do that, you need to answer 2 questions correctly. Be the first to get 2 questions right, and you'll be king of the pride coming back to do it all again tomorrow, like Tom in Clare, who is the current king of the pride. Good to have you back on the line, Tom.
Thank you.
And this morning you'll be up against Bob in Golden Grove. Good morning to you, Bob.
Good morning.
Good luck to both of you guys.
All right, gents, your names are your buzzers. First 2 correct answers wins. An ampersand is a symbol that means what?
Bob?
Yes, Bob.
Ampersand is like your at on an email, at whatever your email address is.
It's not, Bob. Tom, do you want to have a crack?
No, thanks. No.
Fine. Shoulder arms. And. It means and.
Yeah.
Q and A in that context.
Hakuna Matata is a Swahili catchphrase from the film Lion King. Yes, Tom.
No worries.
Wow, Tom,
well
that was excellent. He knows he's Lion King, Tom.
I've been practicing.
Question number 3. Tom's one away from remaining king of the pride. In which decade was television introduced into Australia?
Bob?
Yes, Bob.
50s.
Ooh. Yes, it was, Bob. Which means it all comes down to this. Which liquid metal is traditionally used in thermometers? Yes, Bob.
Mercury.
Bob, you are the new king of the pride. You had to be good to unseat Tom, who's done terrific work. Commiserations to you, Tom.
Bad luck, Tom.
But well done,
Sorry,
Bob.
Tom.
Magnificent work. So we're going to be back chatting to you, Bob, in Golden Grove tomorrow morning to see if you can remain king of the pride.
Fantastic.
Good on you, Bob.
Magnificent work. That was excellent. Good stuff, Bob. All right, it's 15 minutes after 7. 8223 is the number. You can text us to on 0448 08 1395 at any time and indeed on any subject. Maybe you'd like to talk footy because we're about to do precisely that. All thanks to Walco at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover. Ryan Fitzgerald, good morning to you.
Oh, how good was Bob? Well done, mate, you mad dog. That was an amazing effort. Well
He was
done.
like mercury, or just like quicksilver. Brilliant stuff.
Just really, really good. How are you, boys? Pumped for another round.
We are. Hey, Fitzy, it'd be nice to talk about footy more, wouldn't it, being footy fans? Because the last 2 weeks, it's just been Butters, Foot, the Tribunal, barking dogs, Zoom meetings, and then, of course, the real unpleasantness of poor old Elijah Holland staggering around last week and no one at Carlton seeming to realise that there was a problem.
Yeah, that was really interesting, wasn't it? And I know his old man, Benny Hollands, as well. That was a beautiful post during the week. Just, extending his arms and showing everyone his love for his son. It is... I think there's been a lot of talk about, how we've got to... You sort of have more... There's got to be more sort of things that we need to do before a match. But I think, everybody before a match, you look around and your teammates are your number one. So, I agree with a lot of people. I don't understand how Carlton did not pick this up, but we just need to support this young bloke now because it goes beyond football, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hey, Fitzy, full disclosure, we've been doing this chat for a number of years now. You've crossed into us. We've been talking footy and all sorts of subjects. Have you ever done it whilst driving on the way to an open inspection? What's the most distracted you've been? Have you ever, been doing it whilst trying to strangle a dog? Any come to mind?
The more disturbing thing about that is that he had the perfect reason to get out of parent-teacher interview, and he still went. like that is like the perfect. Sorry, I've got the Zach Butters tribunal tonight, so I can't be there to listen to my Year 3 teacher talk about my son. Like, you had every chance of getting out of there, and he still went to it. I couldn't believe it.
Believe it or not, 6 games in, we're at the sort of the quarter mark of the AFL season, Fitzy. We thought we might sort of take the temperature on a couple of things with you. 6 games in, quarter of the way through the season. What's the biggest surprise or the best story so far of the season, do you think?
Oh, God, Bulldogs started. The Crows we've actually got some really good sides early who have now totally fallen off a cliff, and the Bulldogs is the number one. They looked like they were going to be unbeatable at the start of the year, and now they look like they won't even make the finals. So, with the amount of injuries, so I think that's been the biggest story. Sydney are looking amazing. Port Adelaide, they're going to be in a really tough position. Like it's, I can't see it getting any better, and it's just the worst thing for me is that it's just Zach Butters is just getting better, but it looks like he's that it goes on, so it's not looking good for the Port Adelaide Footy Club.
And I don't know, did you have a pre-season premiership tip, and has it changed after a quarter of the year?
Oh, boys, I still like Brisbane. Don't let Brisbane put you off at all. And I know they're 3-3, but it's the unfortunate thing for every other team is that when it comes around to September, that team just goes to another level. So it doesn't matter if they're losing now. It probably just gives their premiership odds that they go out even more, but they will be the team to beat around September.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, mate. We'll rip into the tip. So tonight, against the bashed-up Bulldogs, Swans will win, won't they?
Yeah, Swans will win that one against the Bullies.
Then Richmond against Melbourne have been going pretty well, the Demons, tomorrow night.
Yeah, look, Richmond have just got too many injuries, and I can't see Richmond winning a game this year unless they get some of those good kids back, but the Demons will win that one quite convincingly.
Then Hawks and the Suns down in Tassie.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. Suns are a bit off at the moment, so Hawks play that Tasmanian, that Launceston ground really well, so I'll go the Hawks.
And the Anzac Day clash, as always, Essendon and Collingwood at the MCG.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot closer than you think, but I think the Pies will knock off the Bombers.
Port Geelong at home for Port.
Yeah, no, look, I think it's a tough one for Port Adelaide. I think Geelong are going to win that quite convincingly.
And then Freo Carlton in the West.
Freo at home.
Saints and the Eagles.
Yeah, Saints will beat the Eagles. Eagles are off at the moment as well.
We'll do the Crows last. GWS North Melbourne in Manuka.
Manuka over in Canberra. I'm going to go the Giants to beat North Melbourne there, even though North are playing well.
And then, as you're saying, Fitzy, the Crows on the road against Brisbane.
Yeah, tough game, boys. I've got to tip with my head here, and I think Brisbane at home is going to be tough to beat.
Good stuff, mate. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.
Good on you, boys. Speak to you then.
All right. Walco at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover. We'll check traffic and come back very shortly with the Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler.
Morning there. Brunella, a breakdown the Southern Expressway near Majors Road, but no great delays through there. In the city, traffic lights on the Blink Frome Street near Flinders Street. Look out for that if you're in the city this morning. And we're a little bit slow South Road at Edwardstown, Port Adelaide up this morning just in front of Castle Plaza, so that will be slow. Early morning camera to look out for. Commercial Road, Port Noarlunga South. Harris Scarf mid-season sale is on now. Save 60% off full-price robot vacuums. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
22 after 6. In a moment, the Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler, on a NDIS that he described yesterday as an ATM for shonks, grifters, fraudsters and crooks, announced significant reforms, wants there to be 600,000 people on the scheme by the end of the decade. There are 760,000 people accommodated by the NDIS right now. That means 160,000 people would be kicked off the NDIS. This is fascinating because I think everyone in politics agrees that this thing was slowly choking the life out of the budget and was bankrupting the country. The growth, this still represents growth in the size of the scheme. So growth would drop from 10% to an average of 2% over the next 4 years. So it's still growing bigger year on year.
But that's based on population growth too.
Of course.
Which is fine.
The overall saving is massive. They would reduce the cost of the NDIS from a projected $70 billion to $55 billion by 2030. The interesting thing for me is the politics of this, because I think everyone agrees. But the easiest job right now for any opposition or minor party or whoever is going to be finding aggrieved families or people to step up and say, this government's heartless, they don't care, what about me? And it'll be really interesting to see how this is played by all and sundry in politics. But we do have the Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler, on the line right now. Minister, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys.
So, Mark Butler, 160,000 people need to be removed from the NDIS. Would it be fair to say that they would fall under a category of having more minor needs than others who are on it? But if that's the case, isn't the key question here is what are minor needs?
And really that is the question we have to answer over the coming months as we design this assessment scheme. So really, you need to go back to the original intent of the scheme. We set this scheme up in the first place to support people with significant and permanent disability. But what we've seen over those years is the scope of it go much broader than that. So people certainly with disability, certainly who have support needs, but at a more mild to moderate level, have gone onto a scheme that was never designed for them. I've already talked about this for kids under the age of 9, setting up our Thriving Kids program so that there is another support system for parents, obviously, to access. But I've been very clear, we need to get the NDIS back to its original purpose, so serving and supporting those people with significant and permanent disability. Now, working out where the line is the job of work we now have over coming months, working with the disability community, getting technical advice, and engaging with state and territory governments who obviously have a lot of skin in the game in this as well. But, I just think it's really, really critical to be clear with your listeners and with other Australians. This scheme's at real risk. It's growing out of control. Its community support is slipping away very, very fast because people think it's got away from us, it's costing too much, it's riddled with rorts and dodgy providers, and it's got to have a major reset.
So one of the changes you spoke about yesterday would be a functional change about the entry point to the NDIS, where you would use, to quote you, standardised evidence-based assessments of a personal functional capacity, not an official diagnosis. So what's an example of how that would change in practice?
Well, see, what we've seen over the last 13 years is basically the use of diagnosis lists. So if you're able to find a specialist, whether it's a paediatrician or a psychiatrist or someone, pay probably a couple of $1,000s to get a diagnosis, then you're automatically enrolled into the scheme. That was never the intent. The intent was to look at a person's functional capacity. So if they have significant support needs because of their functional capacity with significant and permanent disability, that's the population that we had in mind when we were designing the scheme. Those diagnosis lists, the diagnosis gateway that people complain to me about all the time because it's hard to get into the specialist, you might be waiting for years, you have to pay thousands of dollars. That was always intended to be used while we got the scheme up and running on the basis that we'd always transfer to some more objective scientific assessment system that meant that everyone got tested through the same tool rather than, could I find a psychiatrist or a paediatrician or not?
Yeah. Just in terms of how that will actually all be worked out, though, Mark Butler, like to Will's point earlier, you're going to have to run this sort of gamut of every single sort of parents group saying, well, my child has already been getting this help. Now they're not going to get any. You're sort of unscrambling the omelette is going to be the really hard part, is it not? Because even if some of these schemes might be a bit sort of unnecessary, or there may be concerns about the people providing them doing it for financial gain, there's still services that kids are currently using, whether they're of value or not. So you're going to have to walk through all of that, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Dave, I tried to be honest about that yesterday. Change, particularly significant change, is always difficult, and it's going to be confronting. I understand that for parents and for adults with disability themselves as we work through that change. And I wish I didn't have to say that change is important, but the truth is it is. If we don't get this scheme working the way it was originally intended to, if we don't get the costs under control, then I really worry about the future of the scheme, the sustainability of the scheme well into the future, and the support that it has given to transform the lives of hundreds of thousands of Australians. So we need to make sure that we can look Australians in the eye, including parents, and say there will be other support systems in place that, frankly, are much more appropriate for your needs than the NDIS, that has a whole lot of features to this scheme that really are built around the idea of significant and permanent disability, which is usually lifelong. That's often not what parents need for kids who have more mild to moderate needs. They need supports that are situated in their community, that they can access in places where they live and learn and play, connecting with other parents who are going through the same things, rather than this highly individualised, frankly, let-it-rip market that the NDIS has established.
How do we make sure that as a country, like obviously more needs to be done to rein in debt, to make sure that we don't keep spending beyond our means? So it's a noble goal, trying to reduce the spend, the annual spend on the NDIS by so much. But how do we make sure that when you offer that reassurance that there's going to be services that are still provided by the states, that the states don't end up having to shell out billions and billions of extra money to pick up the slack through the withdrawal of federal services?
Well, when you say federal services, the NDIS is a scheme that we run together with states. I mean, they contribute money to it. I can't make change without getting the agreement of states, including the South Australian government. So it's a joint scheme, the NDIS. And in the same way, those support systems outside of the scheme for people who might end up not being on the scheme, we've already together allocated $6 billion way back in 2023 through a national cabinet meeting that we had with all of the premiers, including Premier Malinauskas. Billions of dollars were allocated together, so we'll pay 50%. The other states and territories will pay together the other 50% to rebuild those systems of support that used to exist before the NDIS, but too often now have been dismantled. We're doing that already with Thriving Kids for kids under the age of 9. We've got $4 billion going into that, $2 billion from the Commonwealth, $2 billion collectively from the other jurisdictions. And we'll have to do the same for other cohorts in the community as well. But I think governments have recognised that for some years. They first recognised it in 2023, and we've put money aside for that purpose.
Mark Butler, the Federal Minister for the NDIS, thank you for joining us this morning.
Lots of texts coming through on this. We'll get to some of those shortly. 044808 1395. Matt Abraham, too, is loitering with intent just outside the studio. He'll join us in just a moment.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings. How about the Central Market? Now, you don't need to tell the people of Adelaide, South Australia. Well, now it's been recognised internationally. It is the third most popular food market in the world. Only 2 food markets ranked higher, London's Borough Market and Philadelphia's Reading Terminal Market. Graham Goodings. Pretty good. We can be justly proud. Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny for Adelaide today, a warm top of 29 degrees. With the 7:30 news, good morning, I'm Kate Collins. Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. physioextra.com. One of two men spotted scaling a vacant city building has been arrested while a second is on the run. The pair set off an alarm on the Gawler Chambers building on the corner of Gawler Place and North Terrace at 2 a.m. Police spotting the pair on a fifth-floor ledge. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says one man climbed back down through the building to the basement where he was arrested.
He's a 32-year-old Para Hills man. He's been arrested and charged as being unlawfully on premises. Police also found a car registered to him parked nearby, and that allegedly contained braking implements. So his vehicle was seized by police and towed away for forensic examination, and he was bailed to appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court in June.
SA's housing crisis has reached a new low, with the cost of renting a unit in Adelaide jumping 10% in 12 months. According to a new Domain rental report, the increase is the largest in the nation and takes the average Adelaide unit rent to $550 per week. Deputy Liberal leader Josh Teague says a family renting the average unit will now be paying around $2,500 more in rent per year than they were 12 months ago.
The housing crisis is deepening under state Labor, and we've got to make sure that this government's actually doing things about ensuring there's more rental housing available in South Australia. 10% jump is enormous.
Iran's top negotiator claims the United States' blockade on Iranian ships entering the Strait of Hormuz is making a permanent ceasefire outcome impossible. The White House says the Trump administration is awaiting a unified response from Tehran to progress negotiations. Former Pentagon advisor Jasmine El-Gamal says both parties clearly want the conflict to end, but neither wants to back down first.
Iran going into negotiations with the U.S. still blockading the Strait and the ports coming out of Iran would be a sign of weakness, and that's something that they're trying to avoid.
A key disability group says the federal government's proposed NDIS overhaul has left many participants uncertain about their future eligibility. Under the new changes, a new needs assessment process will be rolled out, a move that will cut an estimated 160,000 people off the scheme to help rein in costs. Autism Association Australia Chief Executive Nicole Rogerson says similar policies have failed in the past.
I like the idea of doing a proper functional assessment to see how much disability somebody has and whether the scheme is where they need to be. But, you won't have to have a long memory to remember when the last government tried that and it didn't go well. So I think the community has every right to be very nervous about what that looks like.
A Chinese car maker claims it's developed an EV battery capable of driving 1,500 kilometres on a single charge. James Ward from drive.com.au says it will transform the global car market.
CEO of Mazda saying we can't beat them, so we're going to join them, in that the recognition that China's speed and scale that they can do with the electric vehicle sort of development is basically the best in the world. So I think everyone looks at them. You've got these batteries from BYD and CATL going into European and American and Japanese cars now.
Legal experts say current court cases against Woolies and Coles over alleged fake discounts could change the future of shopping in Australia. University of Melbourne professor Janine Marie Patterson says if the ACCC wins their case, then every business in Australia will have to rethink its marketing.
They either go to Coles or they go to Woolworths. There are some other supermarkets around, but a lot of us are sort of limited. So in a way, consumers don't have a lot of choice here. They don't have a lot of ability to respond to the litigation other than to go, well, I'm not going to pay much attention to the sale tickets anymore.
Now turning to
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kate. Let's start with footy. Port has held its main training session ahead of Saturday's Anzac Day blockbuster. The Power will be hoping to bounce back after a narrow 3-point loss to Hawthorn. They'll name their side tonight. Much interest in who will get the job of shutting down Cats spearhead Jeremy Cameron. Still on footy, Marcus Bontempelli has been named for the Western Bulldogs clash against Sydney tonight. The Dogs, though, have still made 4 changes, bringing in Adam Treloar and dropping Jordan Croft. Rory Lobb, Sam Darcy, Tom Liberatore and James O'Donnell are all missing through injury. The Swans, though, have also lost Isaac Heaney, who's got calf tightness. Swan skipper Callum Mills says they won't be treating the Dogs as a percentage booster.
No, not at all. They're an extremely good side and they run really deep. Their twos have been a good side for years as well, so we're going to have to really be on our A game.
Manchester City's on top of the EPL table for the first time since August after recording a 1-0 win against Burnley. The only goal of the game coming in the 5th minute.
Here goes Haaland. Alarm bells ringing here for Burnley. It's Erling Haaland. It's beautiful. Manchester City in front. Coolness personified from Erling Haaland.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. Now, that result also confirms Burnley will be relegated to the Championship next season, joining Wolverhampton. Meantime, Leeds has gone a long way to ensuring it will stay in the Premier League next season after managing a 2-2 draw with Bournemouth. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Rennie. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there. At Ranello, breakdown to look out for this morning. It's on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road, but have a quick look at the map. No great delays there, which is good. Lights on the blink in the city, Frome Street and Flinders Street. Angard Lane ripped up this morning, South Road at Edwardstown, just in front of Castle Plaza, so that will be slow this morning. Camera today to look out for, McGill Road at McGill. Every minute of every day, a child is admitted to a hospital in Australia, but you can help. Step up for sick kids this May and join Starlight's Super Steps Challenge at supersteps.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast. Sunny and warm today, a top of 29 degrees. 27 and mostly sunny for tomorrow. 29 with a possible shower developing on Saturday and dropping slightly in temperature to 24 on Sunday. Right now it's 14 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
At Coles, get half price across selected cosmetics on brands like Maybelline, L'Oreal, Rimmel and Revlon. Save in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday. Excludes everyday down and clearance items. Follow the directions for use.
This Anzac Day, we pause, reflect and come together. Join us at Morphettville for an Anzac Day commemoration. Alongside two of Australia's finest races, the Sportsbet Australasian Oaks and the Robert Sangster Stakes, featuring $1 million Group 1 racing, with hospitality experiences from relaxed trackside packages to premium dining and private suites. Kids under 17 are free. General admission, just $30. Anzac Day at Morphettville, where tradition and racing come together. Gamble responsibly.
Moving house and need a truck, planning your next family holiday, or maybe your car is out of action and you need a reliable replacement. Whatever you need to do or wherever you need to go, think Red Spot Car Rentals.
The team at Red Spot has got you covered. Red Spot has been named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year, which is voted by you, the customers.
And that's because Red Spot proudly offers transparent pricing, genuine old-fashioned service, and a new fleet of vehicles, including an impressive hybrid range.
You can rely on Red Spot. Book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Hi, Brett Ibbott here for Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right, we can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
All right, if you've been thinking about upgrading your laptop, now's actually a very smart time to do it. Harvey Norman has up to 25% off selected big brand laptops, and there are some genuinely strong deals in there. For example, the Acer Aspire Go with an Intel Core 5 processor is down to $628. That's a $270 saving. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3 Copilot Plus is $998, saving you $400. And the HP OmniBook X Flip 14, a really versatile 2-in-1, now $1,498, save $400. So whether it's work, study or just something faster and more reliable, it's worth a look. Best range, best brands, best prices, up to 25% off selected laptops at Harvey Norman now. Conditions apply.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Whatever your morning looks like, own it with Up and Go Liquid Breakfast. Braving the bus or carving a wave, battling rush hour or feeling the rush of your favourite trail. Fueled with the protein, fibre and vitamins you need to get up and go.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
19 minutes to 8. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by the great people at Louva House.
I was, I'm bugging it. This is Democracy Manifest.
They're eating the dogs. I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum.
Matt.
Matt Abraham live in the studio now, thanks to the great people at Louva House, who we absolutely love and adore. Great to have them on board. You're going to love what we've done with the spin. They do outdoor areas. We update spin segments with Louva House. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, what we do here, this is a perfect fit, isn't it, Louva House, is because we open the louvers to let the light in on spin.
Yes. Writes itself.
Just came to me like that.
I
was wasted at the ABC, really.
All that untapped creative sales potential.
Sunlight being the greatest disinfectant.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm a little bit embarrassed about this because, there's been 2 boxes of votes discovered. Okay? There's 3. I was cleaning behind the sofa yesterday. And,
oh, no.
I'm sorry, but...
Matt's found some more.
Yeah.
They're coming out of everywhere.
It's all right.
They're not for Narunga, are they?
No, they're actually for a rival program. So they don't count. Oh, they go back in the box.
Yeah,
Where do they come from? Sorry, that's from
What a debacle.
What a debacle.
Well, all votes are equal as long as we can find them. That's sort of is the motto here in South Australia.
Exactly. Do you know what? If you can, those votes that they've found, because they don't change the result in Narunga and the other seat that's safe, because
Enfield.
Newland,
Yeah.
I think there were 2.
Yeah, it was Enfield and Newland, I think. Yeah.
Because they, now Narunga, it could have changed the result. It was only 58 votes. So they found another 20 that would have benefited One Nation, so effectively increased the One Nation vote. But they don't count because the poll had been declared. So officially, the margin stays at what it was on election night, effectively. So 58 votes.
Yeah.
So those missing votes, they don't. If you're one of those missing votes, you're blocked out of the democracy that the government proclaims and the huge, thousands of dollars spent on an advertising campaign saying how good it is to vote. And it may seem like a small thing, but those votes don't count. And the votes they found, the second box that you've revealed that they've found, even though they don't affect the result, they're dead votes. So that you
and
voted.
for the sitting members as well, they make the seats more marginal.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I know if you're the Labor member for Enfield, you're not
going to worry.
You're not exactly under any pressure. But it could mean that instead of you holding a 20.3% seat, you hold a 20.2% seat.
Yeah.
And in the case of Chantel Thomas, even though it is only a handful of votes, well, she only won by a handful of votes. And because, as you say, Matt, it's been declared, her seat now is only by a very, very small percentage point.
0.1.
But it's more marginal than it should be because the votes weren't counted.
Yeah. So the next election, so if you're on 0.1%, your margin, the next election, who knows? Those 20 votes may end up costing you the seat. Now, this is all hypothetical, but the fact is they're dead votes. They're votes. You voted for a candidate and your vote meant nothing at all. And Enfield, I know the margin's 18.8%, so it's really a moot point there. But it's still people who have gone into a polling booth on polling day, they've voted, and their votes weren't bloody well counted, and they're sitting in a box in a sort of, photocopy room somewhere. It is gross incompetence, and it does feed into all the conspiracy theories, and I don't think it is a conspiracy. I think it's a total just incompetence.
It's incompetence, yeah.
But it feeds into conspiracy theories that, can you trust the uni parties? Can you trust, don't write your vote out on pencil. See, we told you, put it, use biro so that the electoral, these people can't change it for you. We've got the electoral commissioner, a highly paid job, missing in action. No explanation really where he is or why he's not on deck so soon after an election. That needs to be, that needs to be answered, I think.
Well, they still haven't finished counting the Legislative Council, have they?
No, we'll know that Monday, I think. But we pretty well know what it'll be. But I think
but
Anthony Green, the ABC's election analyst, says should be by Monday. They'll have that all settled.
Well, by the new standard, if we pretty much know what it's going to be, we can just really leave the rest of the votes in a box somewhere, can't we? Well, save us all the trouble.
You do you do start to wonder.
You are right about the conspiracy thing. We were saying this the other day when chatting with Kai Ma. This will endure. We'll be 3 elections from now, and people will go, well, that's the result, unless, of course, we find them in a box somewhere.
Of course.
Well, this is now part of... You can't afford to stuff these things up. This will be part of the verbiage around elections in South Australia.
It is.
Forever now.
And we are in a climate where a party has gone, in a matter of weeks, from nothing to 4 seats in the lower house. Never happened before in South Australia. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's happened anywhere in Australia.
Almost a quarter of the vote.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing you can really compare it to is the Queensland election in '98, and that was straight after One Nation was formed. It was 2 years after Pauline Hanson entered federal parliament. They set up One Nation as a party the following year at the Rooty Hill RSL. I was there the day they did it. Drove up from Canberra to Sydney to Rooty Hill to cover that. They sell T-shirts that say, "I climbed Rooty Hill." What a suburb. What a part of Sydney.
What an Australian name.
Rooty Hill makes Davern Park look like Burnside. And that's a compliment to Davern Park.
Okay, so that was previously the high point in Queensland, and I think it largely fractured. But
well, they all quit.
Yeah.
All got sacked. There were 11 and then there were none.
Yeah. What's interesting this time, I think, is you don't just fluke having 4 people getting 4 MPs elected. Liberal Party got 5, and they've got a well-established party machine. From all reports, One Nation are a lot more professionally organised now, both in terms of fundraising, candidate selection, but also, most importantly, the most critical thing. This is where Nick Xenophon sort of crashed and burned. You've got to have a candidate in every seat. That helps you with your upper house vote. You've got to have people at every polling booth handing out your how to vote cards, not sitting on a sort of a plastic chair somewhere that someone may,
Well, that seems to be one of the key areas where One Nation did really well at the election.
Yeah.
Because every single booth I saw and every single booth I heard about had One Nation people there. Well, there are even One Nation people handing out in Bragg.
Yeah, of course. They're running in every seat. They had people handing out leaflets. They had people handing out leaflets in Wait.
They had them in the People's Republic of Goodwood.
Yeah. And if you want to freak out a Labor or Liberal person handing out how to vote cards, you walk past them and take the One Nation how to vote card. Even if you're not going to vote One Nation, they just about start crying. And this will be a problem for the Liberal Party because they've got, you look at Labor, they've got this enormous number of seats, 20, what are they?
32?
30, they've got just a huge, 34, sorry. 34 seats in a 47-seat House of Assembly. That's 34 MPs. And if you're on Facebook or Twitter, but certainly if you're on Facebook, they're all talking like the new ones are talking like they've been there for forever. This has been my commitment. And they're out there. They're not sitting back. They're campaigning now. And this is in seats, Aria Bolkus in seats that are very safe, like in Colton, or safe-ish. She did well there. She's not sitting back saying, well, I've won, I'll start campaigning in 3 years' time. They're campaigning now. Now, you've got, compared to that, 5 Liberal seats. So every one of those 34 Labor seats have got electorate staff, got funding.
Totally.
All that sort of gear for direct mail, the whole kit and caboodle. You've got 5 Liberal seats. It's not just the parliamentary resources, it's the electorate resources that become a big problem for them.
Well, when you look at the ministry and the Premier's office, the Tiser did that report last year because I dug it out and looked at, is this even a fair fight anymore with the opposition being reduced to the rump that they are, Mallee and his ministers have got 111.3 full-time equivalents, and that is people as policy advisors and media advisors. The Libs have got, I was told,
111.
By
so there's 20 of those staffers for every Liberal MP.
Yeah, well, I'll be
in
told
the lower house.
The Libs have got like about
1.5,
10 staff.
Yeah.
8 to 10.
Yeah. And you're the first journalist ever to complain about not getting media releases from the opposition.
Hey, we're going to take a break. We'll check traffic. So, at this election, One Nation in South Australia, 22.9% of the vote, eerily similar to the 1998 Queensland election, 22.68% of the vote. So, very similar result. All right, we'll check traffic and come back with more from Matt Abraham. All thanks to Louver House next.
At Brunello, break down the Southern Expressway near Majors Road in the city. Traffic lights playing up Frome Street near Flinders Street. Slow on the freeway at Crayfus for the ongoing road and barrier repair works from that truck crash the other week, and getting quite busy South Road, Edwardstown. Got a lane ripped up last night. That's just in front of Castle Plaza. Camera, Raynell Road at Woodcroft. Carpet Court's window furnishing spend and save is on now. Save $100 when you spend $1,000 on blinds, shutters, curtains and shears. Spend and save on now at Carpet Court. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hey, it's Jordan Dawson here, captain of the Adelaide Football Club. I know the importance of a home ground advantage. And when it comes to building, South Australia is the home ground for Sterling Homes. For over 50 years, they've been building quality homes here. So whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, if you're looking to build, look no further than Sterling Homes and get the home ground advantage today.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now, with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Are you often battling indigestion? Finding it hard to enjoy the meals you love because of the discomfort that follows? Caruso's new milk thistle gummies to the rescue. Caruso's milk thistle gummies are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to help relieve symptoms of indigestion and support healthy liver function. So if you're fed up with indigestion, try Caruso's deliciously fresh strawberry milk thistle gummies today. Caruso's milk thistle gummies are vegan, 99% sugar-free and made in Australia with natural colours. Available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Celebrate Mother's Day at Jama's Kitchen on Sunday, May 10. Enjoy a 3-course dining experience. Includes family-style entrees with your choice of main and dessert to finish. All for just $87 per person. Lunch bookings from 11:30am and dinner from 5:30pm. Jama's are thrilled to help celebrate Mother's Day. So bring family and friends together and make Mum's Day special. Call or email info@jamaskitchen.com.au. Jama's Kitchen. Fancy made easy.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on right now with loads of demo vehicles that must go.
They're absolutely overstocked, so why pay full price when you could drive away with a feature-packed demo model for less?
Plus, they're including 10 years warranty and cap price servicing with any demo car purchased during the sale.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on now. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Hurry, stock won't last.
Think you know Cinderella? State Opera South Australia is bringing a fresh, fast-paced, laugh-out-loud retelling to Her Majesty's Theatre this May. From rags to royalty, follow one woman's journey as she discovers resilience, love and courage. Playing for 4 nights only from May 7 to 16. Don't miss an enchanting night out packed with charm, chaos and dazzling music. Book your tickets now at stateopera.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
4 to 8, great to have Louver House on board. with Matt Abraham as we dissect the spin of the week and all the other things going on right around the political spectrum in South Australia, and abroad. Let's get to the spin issue, shall we?
Yes.
What do we think? Because there's a bit to talk about.
There is. Matt. Yes. Well, I'm into constant product improvement, so which is what I say when I put a power winch on my boat. It's all about constant product improvement. And we've had the mighty spin of the week going back to a certain hardware store. It's time for the biggest louver.
Oh, the biggest louver.
Yes. So we'll now have the biggest louver for our good friends at the biggest winners, Louver House.
They're the biggest winners.
Yes. So the first one, now, I had a little confession about finding these alleged votes that aren't going to count. First one is the WA opposition leader. Pretty easy job. I think there's only got 2 MPs, or 3 MPs, not a lot. But he's actually he's an interesting character. But he's begun this week. This is Basil Zempilas. Is that close?
Zemplis.
That'll do. Zemplis. Begins this week with a confession.
I'd like to address a serious allegation made against me this morning. On 6PR's rumour file, this claim was made.
Good morning. A rumour has it that Basil Zemplis was out at Forestfield, a bit of a crowd around him, and then afterwards knocking off a barmee in High Wycombe. He's pretty good on the tooth. He knocks them down quick smart.
Yes, the rumours are true. I was in Forestfield, and I can confirm I did demolish that barmee, and I'll be adding more barmee stops to my official listening tour.
It's good 6PR have rumour days like we do sometimes too.
I think that beats Kaya Ma's sausage roll tour, which he did at marginal seats. So he gets he'll get a rate. Oh, well, no, actually, we're going to, I'm going to give him a secret rating at the moment. Now, the second one today is Joe Sockash, Minister, and he's talking about how tough they're going to be on the Electoral Commission.
Those causes for concern and those matters will importantly be air-rated in a review that will take place.
Aerated?
Aerated.
It's not a lawn, Joe.
It's like a soda siphon. Put a whipped cream bulb in it.
Okay, right. Who is the biggest louver?
Do you want a drum roll?
Yes. Basil gets 7, but the biggest louver is Joe Zockash on 8.
Matt.
Good on you, Matt. We'll catch you next week.
We'll work on this.
What was it? Constant product improvement.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
On your rod. Thanks to Louver House.
Yeah, it's great to have them on board. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof. Designed, manufactured and installed locally by Louver House.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny today, a top of 29 degrees. With the 8 o'clock news, good morning. I'm Kate Collins.
State-of-the-art facilities, hands-on treatments and same-day appointments. 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
A speeding drink driver was pulled over by police at Hallett Cove last night. His Toyota Ute was spotted on Lonsdale Road doing 151 kilometres an hour in a 100 zone. The driver blew .170 over 3 times the legal limit. He also had a child in the car. The 44-year-old Christie's Beach man was reported for drink driving, aggravated speeding and driving under the influence with a child passenger. He's lost his licence for 12 months and had his vehicle impounded. A man was arrested after he was caught trespassing in a vacant property on the corner of North Terrace and Gawler Place at 2 a.m. 2 men scaled the outside of the building but set off an alarm and were spotted on the ledge on the 5th floor by police. One suspect climbed down the building, was found in the basement. The 32-year-old Para Hills man was arrested and charged, but Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says police are looking for a second man.
The second suspect was not sighted after being on the roof and police lost track of him, but we know who that is and we'll follow up with him at Adelaide to date.
New figures from the RAA show South Australia has had one of the deadliest starts to the year in terms of fatalities on our roads. Matthew Pantelis reports.
The RAA says there were 32 lives lost and 226 serious injuries on SA roads to the end of March. It's driven by a big increase in crashes of both motorcyclists and younger road users, 59% of fatalities in regional areas. But those 32 lives lost equates to 1.7 lives lost per 100,000 people in the state. And that is more lives lost per capita than any other Australian state. We're just behind the Northern Territory to start 2026, which is shaping up to be one of our worst years in recent decades, with already another 5 people having lost their lives through April. Our road toll currently stands at 37.
A 60-day deadline for the United States Congress to authorise the war in Iran is fast approaching. Under the War Powers Act, President Donald Trump will be required to seek approval from lawmakers about keeping US forces in the Middle East. Former White House advisor Omarosa Manigault-Newman has told Today it would be putting extra pressure on Mr Trump to secure a permanent ceasefire with Iran.
There's a Congressional War Act where he will have to go to Congress for authorization May the 1st. That 60-day timeline he's coming up against.
The Prime Minister is convening a virtual national cabinet meeting today to provide updates about the fuel crisis caused by the Middle East conflict. Anthony Albanese says he's working closely with state and territory leaders to navigate supply challenges ahead of the delivery of another 200 million litres of diesel from overseas. Supply chain expert Professor David Leaney says this shipment will secure an extra 2 to 3 days of supply.
It doesn't sound like much, but that's on top of the 32 days or so that's already there. And if we then maintain normal levels after that, we stay at that topped up level. So this is quite important.
Farmers say they're planting less crops in response to the ongoing Middle East crisis. It comes amid uncertainty over the supply of fuel and to Australia, despite the government committing new deals with international partners. Farmers Federation President Hamish McIntyre says they're facing difficult choices every day.
We have many of our members letting us know that farmers right across Australia are making these tough decisions based on the unpredictability of the situation. And what I mean there is just about, what they will receive for the commodity when it is harvested.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Kate. Port Adelaide is set to name its side tonight to take on Geelong on Saturday. The Power are desperate to bounce back after suffering a 3-point loss against Hawthorn. Despite the loss, the Power were praised for their performance against the Hawks, and Cats assistant coach James Raleigh has told Rowan Timmy G he's noticed a style change under new coach Josh Carr.
They do sometimes get some numbers behind the ball and then able to use those numbers and attack through oppositions with that extra number. So that's what I've seen the last few weeks.
Marcus Bontempelli, meantime, has been named for the Western Bulldogs to face Sydney tonight, and that's despite struggling to run at training this week. The injury-hit Dogs have made 5 changes, dropping Jordan Croft, while there's injuries to Rory Lobb, Sam Darcy, Tom Liberatore and James O'Donnell. Well, the Adelaide Thunderbirds will train this morning as they prepare for Saturday's Anzac Day clash at home against the Sunshine Coast Lightning. The T-Birds are looking to bounce back after last week's narrow loss to the Melbourne Vixens. Meantime, the NBA playoffs will resume this morning. The Orlando Magic taking on the Detroit Pistons in their series, while the OKC Thunder will take on the Phoenix Suns in the other game that's on today. To soccer now, Chelsea has sacked manager Liam Rosenoir after 5 straight Premier League defeats. Rosenoir is just 106 days into a 6.5-year contract. Meantime, there were a couple of games in the EPL with Manchester City taking another 3 points with a 1-0 win away against Burnley. Bournemouth and Leeds shared the points in a 2-2 draw in this morning's other game. And it was not a good night at the Madrid Open for Australia's women. Isla Tomljanovic, Daria Kazatkina, Talia Gibson and Kim Birrell all losing. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tommy. Now turning to 5AA Traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there. Breakdown to look out for at Brunel this morning. It's on the Southern Expressway, Majors Road, but good news, no great delays through there. Lights on the blink in the city today. Frame Street and the Flinders Street intersection. Angot Lane out of action this morning. They got ripped up last night. South Road at Edwardstown, just in front of Castle Plaza. Cameras this morning. McGill Road, McGill, and Baines Road at Woodcroft. Get great deals on the new Hilux at CMI Toyota, South Australia's #1 selling Toyota dealer. Book a test drive today or visit cmitoyota.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast. Sunny and warm today, a top of 29 degrees for Adelaide, 27 mostly sunny tomorrow, 29 with a possible shower developing on Saturday, and then dropping slightly to 24 on Sunday. Right now it's 20 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Hyundai in Uriutpa, with a great selection of the best value new demo and low kilometre Tucson, Santa Fe, i30 and Kona. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Hyundai. View our whole range of Hyundai at steinborner.com.au.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs and California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Go Harvey Norman. Buy now with no deposit, 60 months interest-free on a participating Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Furniture, bedding, TVs, fridges, computers and more. Shop with no deposit, 60 months interest-free on a participating credit card from Latitude Financial Services and get a bonus $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend. Monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. New customers must be approved. Minimum finance $1,000. Equal monthly payment plan, T's and C's, charges and product exclusions. Don't miss this huge offer at Harvey Norman now.
Now, there's a better way to choose your next car. This makes picking a car sound like the ideal day out because it's not a test drive bumper to bumper. It's more like vineyard to vineyard through valleys and sweeping bends.
This is the way cars were meant to be tested. Take a test drive at Barossa Auto Group. You can jump behind the wheel of a new Ford, Honda, Kia, Volkswagen, and then let the road take you where it does. It's the only proper way to get a feel of the car that you're about to buy. They've got a huge range of quality used vehicles too, and they're all ready for a run on the open road.
We caught up with the guys last week, Jamie and Justin, absolutely wonderful blokes, completely reputable, and I love this idea because the bonus is you take a country test drive, you're in the Barossa, like, okay, we might go to Crondorf Road, we've got Rockford on the left, there's Charles Melton up ahead, the car's handling well. Plus, if you buy the vehicle, they'll shout you lunch, how's that, seal the deal, and you'll get a lunch worth up to $500. Some T's and C's apply.
Sounds like a perfect day. Drive up, test the car, buy the car.
Go to Appalachian.
Barossa Auto Group is locally owned with dealerships in Tanunda and Uriutpa. So don't test your patience test driving a car in the city like a schmuck. Set your drive free at Barossa Auto Group. barossaAutogroup.com.au.
Every day, as Australia's largest home lender, CommBank is helping more Aussies buy their dream home with fast home loan approvals. To find out more, search CommBank Home Loan Specialist. Credit approval, eligibility and conditions apply.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Knockdown, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
10 minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in just a moment. Report out of the US. I think the Financial Times might have had it first in the last hour. One of the really interesting little tidbits coming up later this year, of course, is the World Cup, hosted by the United States.
Starts June.
Iran has qualified for the World Cup. Okay.
But haven't they pulled out?
Well, they've threatened to pull out. They originally said that they, if this bombing stuff keeps going on,
they can't get the players through the Strait of Hormuz.
Exactly right. I think they'll be flying. I'm not sure they'll be taking container ship there.
Good.
Hopefully not. Well, according to the report in the last hour, a US Special Envoy Paolo Zampoli, who is an envoy to Donald Trump, has asked FIFA to replace Iran with Italy in the upcoming World
Oh, you're
Cup.
kidding me. You're kidding me.
His argument, Italy's had 4 World Cup titles, and their history and so forth is...
get out of here.
The report identified the falling out that's happened between Donald Trump and Giorgia Meloni, historically an ally of his as a right-wing leader in the US, in Italy, in Europe, over the Pope. She was scathing about Donald Trump having a crack at the Pope.
Yeah.
And this is a sort of olive branch that the US, the White House, leaning on FIFA to allow Italy in at the expense of Iran. Now,
Infantino might like it.
Well, this is just it, except for one problem. To your initial observation about Iran's participation, Iran should put out a statement overnight saying, we're coming to the World Cup. Our team's ready to go.
Really?
Yes.
Because I thought Iraq were the next cab off the rank in the placings in the Middle East. And
well, Iraq are in. Because Graham Arnold's the manager of Iraq.
Oh, of course. No. Who, was it Kuwait? There was another. The next place side should be the one from that group.
from the Asian Confederation.
Graham Arnold's coach.
So something to watch for. Can't imagine it's going to happen, but pretty audacious.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time the Italian Parliament had agreed to a bit of backhanded Byzantine negotiation to get their way on something.
All right,
what a rort.
Time for breaking 8.
Well, the excitement of Gather Round might be over, but we've heard that SA Tourism is coming up with a bit of a plan or a proposal to try to recreate some Gather Round magic outside of Gather Round. We've been told that apparently there's a push on to see if they can somehow attract or lure, presumably with a bit of cash as well, one of the Victorian teams to play 2 of their away games each season at the Barossa Valley. Now, the rumour is that it might be St Kilda, and that obviously there'd be a financial incentive for the club to do so. The thinking too is that if they hold these 2 games in the Barossa, the hope would be that they could schedule one of them against one of the Western Australian sides as well to try to get tourist numbers up from WA. And the thinking is that, all of this money that has been invested in the upgrade of Barossa Park in Lyndoch, which has just been an absolute boon for the local community, such a great development, not just for football, but for other sports as well, that it might be just a great way to use it even more aggressively as a vehicle to promote what is, without a doubt, one of the world's greatest wine regions. Bim Lange is the mayor of the Barossa Council, and we've got Bim on the line now. Bim, our understanding is that this idea is still a work in progress, but this would just be a great thing for the Barossa, would it not?
Oh, look, absolutely, gentlemen. Yeah, good morning. No, it would be an enormous continuing the investment that council and the state government has put into the Barossa Park. We estimate that the Gather weekend was in the order of $10.6 million worth of economy for our region. So, hey, I love rumours, and hopefully that can happen. But with that comes a grandstand build and all those things, and that was all funded by the AFL, of course. That wasn't council funded, and.
No.
And for obvious reasons, they fund the build and they take the gatekeeping. So, but yeah, look, that's why we invested to the degree that we have to get these marquee events. So, hey, if that happens, that'll be great.
How did it feel in terms of accommodation, all of the Airbnbs as well as the hotels in the Barossa, Bim? Did it feel like the Barossa was sort of up to the challenge of hosting so many people during Gather Round? I mean, I know a lot of them would have been in the city too, but it would have been great for all of the local sort of accommodation businesses.
Oh, look, most definitely. We're hearing reports that everyone was packed out. Our streets and our cellar doors and different other venues had the busiest week leading up to and then following on the week after. So it was an enormous boost. And look, we're aware that there's an intercontinental interest as far as building a hotel between Indock and Williamstown. So all of those things play into the tourist capabilities that the Barossa can offer.
Good on you, Bim. Bim Lang, the Mayor of the Barossa Council. Thanks for joining us this morning. So watch this space. It'd be a great thing, I reckon, if it happened.
A remarkable legacy of Gather Round if you've got Melbourne clubs selling home games to regional South Australia.
Well, I mean, there's more than a couple of them are pretty cash-strapped.
Well, there are. I mean, there are. It's not so silly to say. There's obviously examples in Tassie where this has been happening. It's happened in Perth as well. Why
Canberra.
not? Why not? Yeah, in Canberra. Why not? In the Barossa Valley.
North Melbourne for a long time. They were trying to make their home at Manuka Oval.
And obviously we're parochial and we're going to argue for South Australia. But I reckon if you're a Victorian cash-strapped club, the best argument you can make to your fans about why they've got one less home game is that you're not going to have to travel that far if you want to go.
Well, yeah, that's right. Exactly.
All right. It might be a little thin, but
if you're upset about it, at least they've got really good wine.
That's right. There's worse places to go in Australia. Exactly.
Well, yesterday we'd only just finished the show when the news broke, not long after 9 o'clock, that our beloved Adelaide Central Market had been voted in the top 20 markets, the top 20 produce and food markets worldwide. Not just in the top 20, it had come third behind London's Borough Market, which is admittedly fantastic, and also one in Philadelphia, I think, that I don't know anything about, but I do know plenty about the Central Market. And we're glad to be joined now by our good friend Fabienne Riley, who is the General Manager of the Central Market. Fabienne, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I'm sorry that you're not in the market today because I would have definitely brought some not wine, champagne, to celebrate the good news with you.
But it is a really deserved accolade, isn't it? Because you hear people from interstate, they come here. We're just talking about Gather Round being a magnet for visitations, but people go, that's actually as good, if not better, than anything I've seen in Europe.
Yeah, the market is the first tourist destination in Adelaide. And we hear from tourists all the time how good the market is compared to, some very well-known Europeans or others. We already know, but, it's not really just about tourists. It really is about a local experience, and that what makes the market so special is that it's truly authentic. It's truly like a place for local shopping. And in fact, it's both hyper-local and multicultural. And I think it's in part what makes it a great reflection of what Adelaide is about in South Australia, really.
Yeah. I think, too, when you look at some of the other ones on the list, like, really, really world-famous ones like La Boqueria in Barcelona. But the thing is, if you go to a place like La Boqueria, unless you get there before 8:30, you literally cannot move for tourists.
Yeah, and it's just for tourists. Like I went last year, and it is just for tourists. You don't see real shoppers there.
No.
The produce change, and in our markets, it's about shopping. It's about everyday specials, about bargains, and that's come through. That's the authenticity I'm talking about.
Could we just reflect? David mentioned it on Gather Round for a moment, Fabienne. So the state government is saying 105,000 people went to the market over the Gather Round weekend. Some of the stall holders said it was their busiest weekend ever. For the market, how close was it to being the busiest market weekend ever overall?
Oh, look, probably not. I mean, it was a great event, and we are so supportive, and it's just a great experience for everyone because everyone wears, the traders wear their Guernsey and there's a real positive, fun attitude and everyone is bantering, and so it's great. I wouldn't say it was the strongest time of ever, but it's certainly excellent for eateries in particular.
I tell you what, when all the construction work has stopped, it's going to be on the cusp of what will hopefully be an exciting even bigger new phase, but with the traditional area of the market remaining as it has been for so many years to get that balance right with its heritage.
Yeah, absolutely. We are building on. That's the intention. So the existing market stays exactly as it is, and we're just building on that diversity, that energy, that sense of place that is so special to the markets, to the expansion. And so the idea is that it remains of course, a great shopping experience, but also a community experience. You can dine, you can, gather your loved ones, you can listen to music, you come with the kids, and it's great too. It will retain that diversity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations, Fabienne. It's a deserved accolade. Fabienne Riley, the General Manager of the Adelaide Central Market.
21 minutes after 8. We're going to check traffic in a moment and change tack. Before we do, though, did you read the story in the Advertiser this morning about the person that was arrested having sent 44,000 abusive SMS messages to an Adelaide media outlet?
44,000.
I read that text story and thought, wonder if it's a familiar name. Apparently not. Apparently not.
It was Rob.
Well, they said abusive. Rob's more.
It was either Rob or Ben.
Rob's more comical.
Yeah,
Ben's more statistical. Got us thinking. 44,000 texts. If you had to send 44,000 texts, but it had to be on one subject, what would it be? What's something you could send 44,000 texts on and maintain the rage and the energy or the interest? Let us know. You can even do it by texting in 0480081395.
Just do it once, though.
You only need to do it once. You can call us, 8223 We've got tickets to see Port Cats at Adelaide Oval Saturday night that everyone who participates in the program this morning's been in the running for. So you might have a nomination for the sort of thing you could maintain the rage on and send 44,000 texts.
I want to read this text out, Brett. I hope you're still listening because a lot of people share your thoughts. Brett in Paravista writes, guys, while everyone's talking about NDIS changes, little's being said about the over 65 private health $250 increase. My wife joined private health at age 39, so she had to pay the 18% surcharge, 2% for every year over 30 for 10 years. Now she's over 65. They expect her to pay extra again, all under the guise of paying the same as younger people. That $250 a year represents a 10% increase for us. Thank you, Brett.
Keep them coming in. Maybe 0480081395. What could you send 44,000 texts about? What would be the one subject? Let us know. A few coming in already. We'll get to those next.
At Croydon, smashed a lookout from a north-south motorway near Hawker Street. Ranella, breakdown Southern Expressway near Majors Road. And the city's still got lots on the blink this morning, Frame Street near Flinders Street. Getting busy right now, South Road, Mile End, slowing up Fullerton Road at the Britannia Roundabout with a camera McGill Road, McGill. Abolish net zero, save up to $1.9 trillion, increase pensions by 30%. newdeal.au. Authorised by Clive Palmer for the United Australia Party Gold Coast. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
This year's fixture is the worst fixture in the history of the game.
Yeah.
You'd have to admit that.
Absolutely.
And the only thing that saved it was Gather Round. Again.
Yes. Thursday night has been Richmond-Carlton. Round one. There might be a new Thursday night opener.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
I think the AFL are looking at a grand final rematch instead.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Everyone with a dog knows the look, those adorable puppy eyes that get exactly what they want. Well, right now, Guide Dogs in Training are using theirs to ask you to donate to Guide Dogs Day.
Apart from being irresistible, Guide Dogs use their eyes to make a life-changing impact for people with low vision or blindness, something your donation makes possible.
And right now, every donation will be doubled by Specsavers, so it goes even further. There are other ways to get involved too. You can fundraise your way or Grab guide dogs, pins, tote bags, dog bandanas, even puppy eyes sleep masks available at Adelaide Airport and online.
So to support Australia's hardest working puppy eyes, donate or get involved at guidedogsday.com.au.
Hi, Brady Bit here for Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right, we can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Outdoor living is part of the Australian way of life. A quiet coffee in the morning or a backyard barbecue with friends on the weekend. Alpha Industries helps create those spaces to relax and entertain with fully welded verandas, carports, sheds and studios designed to suit your home. From modern curved styles to classic heritage gables, everything is custom built using genuine Australian blue scope steel for strength and durability. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
27 minutes after 8, submissions for the AEC's redistribution feedback closes tomorrow, and the member for Grey, Tom Venning, has got some feedback for the proposed redistribution of the boundaries of the seat of Grey. When you close your eyes and picture Grey, you think of that giant seat that covers almost the entirety of the northern part of South Australia. What you don't think of are our northern suburbs, places like Virginia and Riverlea. But that's where the seat would extend to under this proposed change. And Tom Venning says country seats should be for country people. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Great to be with you.
Tom, I know everybody knocks the work ethic of politicians, but like in defence of you guys, if you are the member for Grey, like what's your home base? Which town are you based in?
The town I'm based in is my car. I spend every day in my car, and every night I'm in a different hotel or a different couch in someone's house.
But where's your main electoral office?
I've got 4 offices, but I sort of spend most time in Kadina, but also in Whyalla, Port Augusta and Port Pirie.
Yeah, right. So adding 2 L's to the list, there's only so much a person can do, isn't there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, this week I've been in Inaminka and William Creek and Whyalla and Port Augusta and got home late last night from Owen, just sort of north of Adelaide. So I spent a lot of time on the road and also flying around in and out of Canberra.
And who has the final sort of say over this? And you know, do you get a chance to, you know, sort of put in your own submission saying what you think?
Yeah, I do, and I have. I put a submission in late last week, and I would encourage everyone to do the same. Submissions close tomorrow, actually, and the decision is made by the AEC, but they do take in submissions, and they hopefully give some weight to those submissions. But as I said before, you know, Grey is a country seat. From Ceduna to Burra, from Unadilla to Marion Bay, my role is to represent country South Australians. Now, that is diverse in and of itself, whether you're a remote community, a regional community, or indeed a rural community. When you've been to one country town, you've been to one country town. They're all very different. Now, these changes, they bring in a 4th element to my representation, that is, you know, outer metropolitan Adelaide, in Riverlea and Salisbury. So that makes my representation that much more difficult when I am voting on bills or advocating in Canberra for my constituents. It becomes a mix, a bit of a mess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully sanity prevails and your seat retains its current construction, but also its identity. Tom Venning. Hey, Stacey Lee just texted me saying that further to that text about the private health insurance changes, Stacey's going to be talking to an expert about private health, about the changes for the over 65s at 1 p.m. this Arvo.
Yeah, that's a big topic.
Yeah, so listeners can call in with their questions.
All right, it's right on 8:30 on the other side of the break. We're going to be taking your calls on the issue you could send 44,000 texts about. We've got tickets to see Port and Geelong Saturday night to give away. Give us a buzz right now, 8223 0000. What's the issue you could maintain the rage about for 44,000 texts.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny in Adelaide today. We're heading for a top of 29 degrees with the 8:30 news. Good morning. I'm Kate Collins.
Physio Extra, keeping you healthy. Marion, Pirie Street, Norwood, Hallett Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
A southern suburbs man will face court after allegedly speeding and drink driving with a child in his car. Matthew Pantelis reports.
This drink driver gave himself away. It was 8 o'clock last night. Police spotted a Toyota Ute on Lonsdale Road at Hallett Cove, travelling at 151 kilometres an hour in a 100 kilometre zone. The car was stopped, the driver returning a blood alcohol reading of 0.170. That's over 3 times the legal limit. Also, concerning police, a child passenger in the car, the 44-year-old Christie's Beachman, reported for drink driving, aggravated speeding and driving under the influence with a child passenger. He's been given a 12-month loss of licence. The car impounded. He'll be summoned to face court at a later date.
A man was arrested after he was caught trespassing in a vacant property on the corner of North Terrace and Gawler Place at 2 a.m. 2 men scaled the outside of the building but set off an alarm and were spotted on a ledge on the 5th floor by police. One suspect climbed down the building by an external ladder and was found in the basement. The 32-year-old Para Hills man was arrested and charged with being unlawfully on premises, while police found a car registered to him parked nearby, allegedly containing braking implements. Police are searching for a second man. South Australia's housing crisis has reached a new low, with the cost of renting a unit in Adelaide jumping 10% in just 12 months. The increase, revealed in today's quarterly Domain rental report, is the largest in the nation and takes the average Adelaide unit rent to $550 a week. Liberal Deputy Leader Josh Teague says the double-digit increase is another blow for South Australians already struggling through the cost of living crisis.
A 10% jump in just 12 months is unsustainable, and we now see a family renting the average unit will now be paying $2,600 more in rent per year than they were a year ago. That's a crisis.
Figures from the RAA show more people died on SA roads per capita than any other state in the first 3 months of 2026. 32 lives were lost to the end of March. Tragically, another 5 people have died this month. The rise is driven by an increase in crashes involving both motorcyclists and younger road users. The Prime Minister will convene a national cabinet meeting today to address the ongoing fuel crisis. Nelson Scott reports from Canberra.
Anthony Albanese will hold another round of virtual talks with his state and territory counterparts to discuss the disruptions caused by the Iran war. He'll give an update on fuel supplies, with an extra 200 million litres of diesel secured from South Korea, Malaysia and Brunei. Mr Albanese says he also wants to make sure there's a consistent approach across the country in the event of fuel shortages. There are 61 oil tankers en route to Australia, with 5 to arrive over coming days. The government has also secured more fertiliser stock.
The Albanese government has also spoken with energy companies about building a new refinery. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Federal Labor has discussed the prospect of setting up a third working refinery in Australia from scratch as the Iran war exposes our vulnerability to fuel shortages. News Corp says any new facility would cost $8 to $10 billion, and the government's looking at approaching superannuation funds to tip in cash. It's reporting a refinery feasibility study is likely to be included in the May 12 federal budget. The PM will head a national cabinet meeting today, which is expected to update states and territories on the fuel crisis and how Stage 3 could work.
The Australian Automobile Association has found all 15 of the electric vehicles tested failed to meet advertising driving ranges, the worst offender travelling 124 kilometres less than the windscreen sticker indicated. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Agostino Mitsubishi's is overstocked with demos that must be cleared. Upgrade your vehicle today. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Hello, Tom Wren.
And hello to you as well, Kate. It is selection night for the Crows and Port Adelaide ahead of their round 7 matches this weekend.
Adelaide's a good chance to bring back Jake Saligo for the clash in Brisbane, while the Power have to decide who's going to play on Jeremy Cameron. Toby Green, meantime, will become the Giants' all-time games record holder when he runs out against North Melbourne on Sunday. The skipper overtaking club great Callan Ward on 268 games. Green says, though, he's not expecting it to be a record that will last for a long time.
It's nice, but I think there'll be a few boys go past that in the next few years, and hopefully a few coming through now that'll go past it.
And the round kicks off tonight with the Western Bulldogs hosting Sydney at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs will be without Tom Liberatore, Sam Darcy, Rory Lobb, while the Swans have lost Isaac Heaney through injury. Let's go to soccer. Manchester City's on top of the English Premier League table for the first time since August, following a 1-0 win away against Burnley. They're level on points with the Gunners and have the same goal difference with 5 games to play, but they've scored more goals, hence they're top. That result this morning means Burnley are now officially relegated. Meantime, Leeds has taken a big step towards guaranteeing its survival with a 2-2 draw against Bournemouth. The equaliser coming in the 96th minute.
Scott wins that one. Oh, it's driven in brilliantly by Longstaff. What a volley. The long throw does the trick again. And Bournemouth have pegged back again. It's 2-2.
That result means Leeds is now 9 points clear of the drop zone. And in some cricket to finish, the Rajasthan Royals have cemented second spot on the IPL table after a 40-run win against the Lucknow Super Giants. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Rennie. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate. Experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, a Croydon smash on the north-south motorway near Hawker Street. Ranella, breakdown on the Southern Expressway near Majors Road. And Erindale, urgent sewer works on Kensington Road near Hallett Road. In the city, still got lights playing up Frome Street near Flinders Street, and early morning can remain South Road, Morford Vale. Bob Jane T-Marts won't be beaten with their best tyre price guarantee. When you're after great service and unbeatable value, head to the tyreable specialists, Bob Jane T-Marts. They'll look after you. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now to the 5AA forecast. Sunny and warm today. We're heading for a top of 29 degrees in Adelaide. 27 and mostly sunny tomorrow. 29 with a possible shower developing on Saturday and dropping slightly to 24 on Sunday. Right now it's 20 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre, the wearable sensor that monitors glucose levels straight to your phone. Trial it now for only $15 at freestylelibre.com.au. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use.
The company you keep keeps unpacking sport and entertainment's untold stories and keeps you part of rugby leagues in a huddle. Keep good company with the Backstage podcast.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Don't settle for furniture that doesn't make you happy. It's time to visit Nordic Design Furniture in Stepney. Their showroom is an experience. Handmade furniture for every room of the house. Lounge, dining, bedroom and cabinets. Don't settle until you've seen the Nordic Design Furniture showroom. Quality you can see, comfort you can feel. No longer Adelaide's best kept secret. And when your friends ask, you can say, yes, it's a Nordic.
Breaking news. Chai latte and a chocolate donut is good for you. Maybe not when it comes to calories, but it is good for the soul. Cafe Hoppability in Fullerton is operated by Holistic Care SA and provides meaningful and rewarding jobs for keen workers who live with disability. And because you're doing a generous deed, you can grab a second donut guilt-free. Next lunch break, do something that's good for you and others. Cafe Hoppability Fullerton, just up from the roundabout.
Get on the Great Open Road with Explorer Caravan's autumn stock clearance sale. And with leading Aussie brands including Franklin, Viscount and Titanium, you'll get a great deal. And with vans available now, it's the perfect time to head off the beaten track. Plus, receive a $3,000 fuel card with your purchase. Hurry into Explorer Caravans, corner of Grand Junction and Prospect Roads. Travel around Australia on us with a $3,000 fuel card. But be quick, sale ends April 30. T's and C's apply.
Looking for your perfect home? At Rossdale Homes, we can make it happen. Explore our huge range of house and land packages today at rossdalehomes.com.au. With a variety of designs, locations and prices to suit every budget, your new home is just a click away. Got your own home design in mind? No problem. We'll customise a package just for you, backed by our fixed price guarantee. Rossdale Homes, your local SA builder. Because trust is a must.
Aren't you sick of it? Painters who don't show up, painters who are unreliable, painters who talk a big game but can't deliver. No licence, no insurance, no accountability. At Adelaide Commercial Painters, we're a father and son's business built on trust, reliability and real experience. We show up, we do it right, and we stand by our work. So stop settling for less. Call Adelaide Commercial and Residential Painters today and see the difference for yourself.
Introducing AFL Travel, the easiest way to follow your team around the country. From premium accommodation, flights and epic game day experiences, it's all wrapped into one easy package. Whether it's a weekend blockbuster or a once-in-a-lifetime showdown,
He's kicked the goal! And what a goal it is!
AFL Travel makes it easy to fly, stay and play. Limited packages available. Book now at afltravel.com.au. AFL Travel, fly like a star.
Knockdown, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
18 minutes to 9. We've got tickets to give away to see Port take on the Cats Saturday night at Adelaide Oval. We've been putting everyone who contributes to the program in the running to win these, but there's a couple more that we'd like to give away now, and we've been asking you to call in and tell us what's the subject you could send 44,000 texts about and maintain the rage. One subject, 44,000 texts. Chris in Nova Gardens, what is it for you?
Forget 44,000, make it 50,000. Bloody football umpires. They ruined my career and now they ruin my viewing.
How'd they ruin your career, Chris?
Oh, they just reported me all the time.
I see. I see. Right. Understood. Thank you, Chris. Let's go to Flinders Park. Dean, good morning.
Good morning, guys. The disallowed Ben Keegs goal 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I think we've talked about that 44,000 times since.
Still are.
Yeah, but you know what, Dean? You keep texting in with anger, my friend. That was excellent. Let's go to Salisbury. Jimmy, good morning.
Yeah, get off your phones and concentrate on the road.
Yeah.
Too many people dying.
Very good point, Jimmy.
It's not quite irony texting in 44,000 times about people getting off their phones, is it?
Well, it only is if you're driving at the time.
That's true. Yeah. Let's go to Woodville West. Frank, good morning.
Good morning.
What's yours, Frank?
Yes, I've got, again, Chris Bowen and how his denial of our fuel and Albanese chasing fuel.
Yeah.
There's been a few Chris Bowens on the text line. Not quite 44,000, but getting there.
Well, I think the disconnect between the Environment Minister that says no one's really talking about fossil fuels and the Prime Minister who's racing around the world trying to secure petrol products. Mario in Hectorville, good morning.
Good morning, how are we?
Good, thanks, Mario.
That's good. I'll take Chris's 50,000 texts and raise it to 60,000 texts for the Adelaide City Council.
Oh, good one.
Oh, my God. In fact, 60,000, I'm still a bit shy, I reckon. They are the biggest bunch of... Anyway, yeah.
Thank you, Mario. I was thinking this recently. Have they been surpassed by some other councils?
Yeah, I think they have.
In recent times? I feel like they have been in terms of just, good fodder.
Mm. Oh, yeah, Mitcham
really
Mitcham's
punching
come
above
from
its
nowhere.
weight. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're doing well.
Chris in Morphettvale, what could you send 44,000 texts on?
Well, sex. If you think about it, in the first 12 months of any healthy relationship, there's probably 44,000 texts going between each other. And being cynical, it only stops when you become married.
Chris, of all the different ways we imagine that conversation might go, Chris, we did not anticipate that one. But thank you. We appreciate it. Let's go to Hyde Park. Robbie, good morning.
Oh, good morning. God, I could text about this all day, and this person infuriates me so much. Is the fake royal tour, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Oh, yes,
Meghan Markle needs to go back to wherever she comes from.
back to the US.
California, I think.
Yeah, back to California for you, Megan. Good on you, Robbie. Thank you. You can hear the passion in the voice. Keep them coming in. We've got the two doubles to give away to Port Geelong on Saturday night at Adelaide Oval. So keep your texts, keep your calls, maintain the rage. 8223 is the number. But when you calm down, we'd love you to go to 5AA.com.au because for the very first time this year, we're inviting you to come along to our Best of SA event where you can buy tickets. So historically, you've had to win your way there. You'll still have an opportunity to win your way there. But this year, anyone who would like to come along can buy tickets at 5AA.com.au.
Over the years, I've met so many listeners, bumping in on at shops or whatever, and they said, I'd love to go to one of those Best of SA dinners. What's the go? And it's like, well, normally there's like X number of tickets set aside for a competition. This year, you can just jump online and buy them.
Exactly right. 5AA.com.au is the place to go. But if you would like to win your way there, well, stay listening because we'll give you plenty of opportunities to do that as well. Quentin in Old Ranella, good morning.
Morning, fellas. Hey, I reckon... texting, I don't know who it is, somebody's doing it, but 44,000 texts about Mexican food, recipes and how to do them, pronouncing it in the correct way. Any ideas who that could be?
I can think of somebody, Quentin.
Good on you, Quentin.
I like the one from Matty in Monopara. He'd like to send our program 44,000 texts about fog being described as a pea super.
Matty, come on, mate. He said it might because he thinks it'll break me
again. That's right.
I've got my limits, Matt. All right, well, let's check traffic. We'll come back with more. We'll give away the tickets in just a moment.
G'day there, a Croydon. A smash on the north-south motorway near Hawker Street causing a few headaches. Breakdown at Ranella still getting cleared up. Southern Expressway near Majors Road and Erindale Urgent Sewer Works Kensington Road near Hallett Road. Slow going on the freeway near Crayfix, fixing up the road and barrier damage from that truck crash the other week with the camera at Sherwood Road, Ranella. It's the final week to save 60% off store-wide at Lounge Lovers Birthday Sale, plus free Metro delivery till Monday. Visit a showroom or shop online. Terms apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right. It is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Your business has most likely been targeted by a cyber attack. You just don't know it yet. Often the future attack hides quietly in your system, watching, waiting, learning how your business works. That's how most attacks start. FXIT helps Australian businesses find threats early before they become crippling. Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect.
There's a better way to choose your next car. Not bumper to bumper, but vineyard to vineyard. Come to Barossa Auto Group and test drive Ford, Volkswagen, Honda or Kia, where the road opens up. And the drive means everything. Take a country test drive. We'll even buy you lunch to make a day of it. T's and C's apply. Barossa Auto Group. Tanunda and Nuri Utpa.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove with everything from the ground up. Plants and instant lawn, mulches, soils and bark, landscape and building materials, hardware, pavers and more. There's a playground for the kids while you enjoy coffee or lunch in the cafe. Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove. Open 7 days. Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to your area.
Garden Grove, a garden that I want.
Picture this, a long lunch that rolls into the afternoon. Time with your people, nowhere else to be. The air feels fresher, the pace just a little slower. A Grampians getaway is closer and more affordable than you might think. But sometimes it's not about finding a good deal. It's about winning one. Win a Grampians getaway worth over $3,000 with your choice of 2 escapes. Enter now at visitgrampians.com.au. Feels like exactly what you need.
The things you value deserve the best protection. Your car, your tools, your weekend projects. Alpha Industries garages and sheds will keep them safe from rain, hail and the harsh Australian sun. Made from genuine Australian blue scope steel and fully welded for strength and durability, built with you in mind. South Australian owned and operated for over 40 years, Alpha Industries builds garages and sheds that work as hard as you do. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
10 to 9. We spoke earlier in the program with the Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler, about sweeping changes coming to the NDIS, including 160,000 people to be removed from the scheme. Our next guest is the CEO of the National Disability Services, Michael Perusco. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Michael, when we had Mark Butler on, the first question we asked was if 160,000 people are going to get kicked off the NDIS on account of having what could be described as minor needs or lesser needs. The key question here is, how do you define what those minor needs are?
Yeah, it's a really good point. So the announcements yesterday were about returning the scheme to its original intent, which means people with lifelong significant disability. And the way in which the government are looking to do that is what they called a functional assessment. And really that's about assessing the extent to which a person's disability impacts on their daily life. And that, I think, in principle, makes a heap of sense. I think getting it right is tricky, and implementation, getting some more detail, but also the implementation is going to be really, really important to make sure that people with those lifelong significant disabilities actually continue to get the support that they need, because that is the group that everyone had in mind when this scheme was established. But I think, look, at the end of the day, it was also important for these reforms to be put in place, because our view is the scheme has to be sustainable, and it also needs to retain its social licence. And we agree with the government's comments in that regard. I think as I said, it goes to how you do it, but also there's going to be a bit of argy-bargy between the federal government and the states and territories. And so, in your case, the South Australian government, about, well, what is going to happen to those South Australians who were on the scheme but are no longer on the scheme, but do still need some sort of support. And that we're going to have to watch carefully.
Which category of people, which category of NDIS recipients do you think are the most cause for concern with the changes?
Oh, I think it's those with really complex, really significant disabilities. So there'll be, if I think about people who have a spinal cord injury, a huge change to their life, then in one day their whole life changes. You want to make sure that group get the support they need to manage that transition, but also get on with their lives. A lot of our members work with people with profound intellectual disability. They might be non-verbal. We need to make sure that group get the support that they need. And, I think as a society we want to see that. As I said, it's why the scheme was established.
From the other direction, though, where do you think it should be wound back, or where do you think it's likely to be wound back?
Look, I think it really depends on the functional assessment. And I do think it makes sense that you look at a person, you get an understanding of a person's disability, but more importantly, how does that impact on their daily life? And if it is lifelong, if that impact is lifelong, and it does have quite an impact, then they should be on the scheme.
Yeah, a lot to be waded through yet. Michael Prusco, the CEO of NDIS, the National Disability Services. Thank you.
It's going to be a big, enduring story for sure. It's 5 minutes to 9. Time to look at the fuel situation. Better to be a member with RAA Road Service. In fact, we're going to do something different. We're going to take a live fuel watch call from Wendy in Salisbury Park. Morning, Wendy.
Hi, great. How are you going? I've just got some good news. Driving past Jets Cross on Main North Road, petrol is $1.74 at the BP. It's convenient.
That is a good price, Wendy, that's for sure.
Good on you, Wendy.
I'm just driving on Hampstead Road now, going home, and it's $1.75 at a BP on the run.
Good on you, Wendy.
How much have you got in your tank, Wendy? Do you need to fill up?
No, I've been just topping up. I've been keeping 3/4 of a tank in my car and only topping up.
Good on you, Wendy.
Thanks,
Thank
Wendy.
you for the tip. That's pretty good price. Having a look further afield, thanks to RAA, you can get it slightly cheaper than that. Liberty Camden Park, $1.73.5, which is a great price. What are all the people that filled up when it was $2.50 than with their jerry cans right now? The Solo Marion
Siphoning.
has the cheapest diesel at $2.52.5 this morning. So $1.73.5 is a really good price for unleaded, $2.52 for diesel, both off significantly in the last week or so. Shall we give away some footy tickets?
But just before we do, I really like this text from Gavin. He says, I sent 44,000 texts to the Electoral Commission, but they only found 33,000 of them. Now, I have my list of winners, and I buried it in a pile of paper
Well,
here.
we got Port Geelong tickets for Saturday night's game at Adelaide. It'll be a terrific game of footy. The weather should still be pretty good too.
Okay. Well, we're going to spread the love around because earlier we had a great call from Peter in Hillbank about the cockle train, where we're talking about acting like a tourist in your own town. So Peter is going to win some tickets. And then from the 44,000 text category, Dean still maintaining the rage, as half the state is, about the Ben Keys goal that cost us a spot in the finals. And then Jimmy, get off your damn mobiles.
Jimmy and Gavin and indeed Peter, you're all off to the footy. Enjoy it. Saturday night should be an absolute ripper of a game. Stick around. Graham Goodings is coming up after 9 o'clock. We'll catch you.